Guys, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, guys, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, get the like sub, guys, like the video, guys, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, get that freaking like sub, guys. We're gonna be talking a lot tonight. Oh Lord have mercy. I don't want us to stay too long on the show, but we have to. I'm gonna find a way to to make sure we don't spend more than 2 3 hours in this show because it's gonna be a long show. Lord freaking have mercy. We're gonna talk about Ten Hag and United. We're gonna talk about Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea. We have to have that discussion. We have to. We're gonna talk about the UCL, the final preview of the UCL, the UEFA Champions League match, where we're gonna talk about potential favorite and potential underdog. I have my favorite already. I'm gonna kind of let people know. I also have my underdog. We're also gonna talk about the Africa Player of the Year nomination: Mohamed Salah, Ashraf Hakimi, and our boy, the Nigerian player himself, Victor James Osimhen. We're gonna talk about him too. We're gonna have a discussion about him. Does he deserve it? Is it the outright favorite? We're gonna because tomorrow is the official it's gonna be the official winner. We're gonna know who's gonna win the official nomination. That we're gonna know who's gonna win it. Then it's easier to say because his name is there already. His name is there. We're gonna talk about him already. Like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, get that freaking like so. Like that video. We're also gonna talk about Liverpool because as much as we banter, I call the Liverpool. I've been saying it for a very long time. As numbers make have a go at me, you can cost me as much as you are. Apart from Man City, the only team I know very sure that can give Man City a run of game is Liverpool. As not see, I said it, I will say it again. You can cost me. Arsenal are just cleaning the Premier League trophy. It's like going to a store now. You know, there's coffee, there's tea. It's what you want. You can buy either a coffee or a tea. You already know who is the owner of it. You're just helping the person to wash it. That's what Arsenal is doing. You are washing the trophy for Man City or Liverpool for them to win it. So that one doesn't surprise me because in as much as a Chelsea fan, my team is crap. I will take that crap. It's fine. I will take it. We have been started for a very long. We've won champions. We've won. So I understand what definition of the success winning the trophy is. Arsenal have never won the trophy for the past 25 years. So it won't surprise me if they go trophyless. It won't. But again, we'll get there. Like the vid, like the vid, like the vid, like the vid, like subscribe, smash the like button, guys. Let's go, my people. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do that soon. My head is off, man. I have a lot to say, but oh Lord, have mercy, chill, kid. Chelsea don't finish me. Hey, Lord have mercy. My people on a day now. It's a beautiful Sunday. Like see, we're gonna talk about Chelsea. I don't know if I should keep it for the last or I should just rant right now. I don't even know because I don't I don't know where to start from. Maybe I should start ranting right now or I should keep my ranting to the everybody comes. I don't know what to say because this club has completely just ruined me. Lord have mercy. I don't know where to start from. But again, let me start with United first before coming to Chelsea because I can save my energy for the last. With United and Ten Hag, this is what I'm gonna say. Because when Ten Hag was brought in, people were saying he wants to play the highest football, the kind of player he wants to get like Frankie De Jong, and he didn't get part of it, but he gets some of the player he wants. And now He's brought the player onto the club, and the club is not performing. This is what I'm gonna say to United fans. After Alex Ferguson left, there was a lot of manager. Jose came in, he didn't succeed. He didn't succeed. David Moyes was there, he was sacked. Who again? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there, was let go. Ralf Ragnick came in, was gone. So United have also like 4 or 5 managers who have come into the club and have not successful. I don't think the problem is the manager. I think the problem is the structure from the top. People might say Glazer did not spend money. The Glazers spend money. They spend a lot of money to bring the player. They might spend on the wrong team and the wrong player, which is I can understand that. But they have spent money for the team to buy players. And I'll say it again. Until the new ownership comes in, which is gonna Ratcliffe, Jim comes in. Does he stand with Ten Hag? Does he let Ten Hag go? I don't know, because the excuse United fans are giving Ten Hag is he wanted Onana, you gave him Onana. He wanted Mason Mount, he bought Mason Mount. Amrabat, he bought him himself. Eriksen, those are his players. Anthony, he bought him himself. Rasmus H, he bought him himself. So if I'm counting so many players in that United, Harry Ten Hag bought those players himself. The Glazers backed him. People might the Glazers back him. He should be successful. He should be kind of successful with this player. There is no excuse. Lisandro Martinez to bought this player. There is no excuse him not succeeding for United. The excuse of United saying we need to give him time. I can understand giving him time, but if the manager is not doing well, you can't criticize him and call him out. And I'll say it again. You can criticize and call him out again. And call him out because he's not doing well. Those are the players he wanted. Those are his players. He told the player, I want this team. They bought Mason, he was bought. Eriksen, he wanted him. Amrabat, Casemiro, Onana, Lisandro Martinez, Anthony, Rasmus H. He bought 8 players already. So you can't come out with the excuse and say, please give him time. And he need the player to gel. Those are his players. So I expect him to be succeeding with this player. If it's not succeeding with this player, then there is a commission that needs to be held. But United fans will tell me he needs to be given time. We are not harsh on Ten Hag because he bought this player and said these are the player he wanted. So when you criticize other managers, you have to criticize Ten Hag too. But again, last season they finished third and they won the Papa John's Cup, which is the Carabao Cup. What United are expecting this season is you won this last season. We need more consistency going forward. Now you propel us into the Champions League. Now, can you go further to what you've done last season? Then we can keep building and building and building. But they're going forward, they are regressing. Lord have mercy. And now, Chris, I already sent a message to you on the private chat. All I want from you is just send those clown or devil back to hellfire next Sunday.
No comment on that game, man. I'll only say something on that game a day before.
My club is a banter club. I have accepted already. But please send those clown called devils back to hellfire next week Sunday, please.
Yo, you've been killing me every day when you say send those devils to hell.
Last year it was 7-0. I'm expecting a 10-0 this year.
No comment. But can I just quickly say something on United and my perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Look. Yes, Ten Hag, he deserves criticism. He deserves critique.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves all of this, right? But my perspective on United is this: if they want a long-term project, then they have to be, and this is everyone, the owners, the fans, the United correspondents in the media, the players, the manager. It all has to be unison in this sense. They have to understand that there's going to be ups and downs to a long-term process. When you look at Jurgen Klopp and you look at Pep Guardiola, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the very beginning, yes, you could see a certain pattern, but there was little to no consistency. Literally, little to no consistency. And how did the fans react in those early moments? They gave them complete patience. How did the Liverpool and City correspondents in the media act? They gave them patience, unwavering faith, patience. They empowered them. So that level of pressure that Ten Hag is facing every time he goes through adversity, Klopp and Pep, they didn't face it to this degree. And it's a similar thing with Chelsea. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's this is the issue with the fans and the United correspondents in the media, where it's the managers don't even have the genuine full backing of everyone. So with that negative pressure, it's very difficult to like to be successful in like this long term project type of thing. So in a long term project, everyone has to do their job. The fans have to provide long term tools, which is patience. The owners have to provide long term tools, which is not only patience but also giving the manager his players. Ten Hag, yes, you're saying he's bought Rasmus H, Anthony, Casemiro, all these guys. But let's be honest, how many of them are actually Ten Hag players? We could probably say like 6 or 7. And this is a squad that is filled with 4 different managers' players. That is a massive issue. So it's like until
Why
Ten
is there
Hag
an issue, Chris? Why is there an issue?
the issue is because they've been failing under every single other manager. So therefore, if this is 5 years later, then they definitely have to go. So my thing is, okay, if you want to genuinely critique Ten Hag objectively, critique him at the end when he actually gets everything, that's in his head, like the complete idea that he has, or at least most of it. If it's still not successful, then move on. But until that point, it's like this is like 20-30% in the process of like phasing out everyone, So all I'm saying is I don't think if the genuine plan is for long-term success with Ten Hag, I don't think the United board and the fans are doing their part, to be honest. I don't think they're doing their part. Of course, Ten Hag is not doing a good job right now. The players, they've been horrible right now. But this is just part of the journey. And it's like, unless you're willing to be patient, it's only going to be a consistent cycle of this nonsense with the next manager. And that next manager is going to have even more players that he didn't want. And it's just going to keep continuing, you know.
Because this long time process stuff is getting my head out. Under Roma, I don't know what it's called. See, I said it from day one with regards to Chelsea, because we're gonna go to Chelsea. Poch is being very lucky because we have a new ownership. I can guarantee you, after 2 matches, Poch will get sacked. In August, he will get sacked because Roma will tell you, I can't spend money close to 1 billion, and you are telling me trust process. Excuse me, what does that mean to my year? I want to win. That's Abramovich, because Abramovich is still, yes, in as much as he's not thinking about business, Abramovich wants to win. So, and if you cannot guarantee him win, you're gonna get booted up. But I also understand the process. But Cruz, this is the problem now. I can trust process. If I see a pattern of play, I will do that. But Pochettino is not making me do that. That's why I'm coming to United, because United, you can see some claims. Sometimes they play very well. See, United is one of the most, I will call it one of the most abysmal teams I've ever seen in my entire life this season. They have never drawn match. Either they lose big.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Or they win. They are the only team in Premier League.
I'm like, rewind. What did you say?
They lose big or they win big.
I'm like, what did you say? What did you say?
Should I call that course? In Premier League right now, Manchester United have not drawn one match. They've lost or win matches. Either they win big or they lose big. Either they lose big or win big. United have lost.
Oh no, I get that.
Already. 7 or 8 matches, if I'm not mistaken. So, with the way Ten Hag wants to play, you can see some glimpse of pattern in the way he wants to play. But again, the problem now is the player powers and also some of the decisions Ten Hag is making doesn't really help him as a manager to propel him to that top level. See, we talk about Club and Pep. Club has, I call something body of work. He won the Bundesliga in Borussia Dortmund. Pep Guardiola won the UCL, and you know the way he did it for FC Barcelona. There is body of work there. They have body of work where you can say, okay, I can rely on this. Even
Put it in the bank, yeah.
I can give him 2-3 years to do what he do, because there is body of work. See,
what is Poch's body of work? I'm like, what's his body of work?
Spurs.
See, if Club is our manager, I won't get pissed off. You know why? Because there is body of work where I can rely on.
Oh, no,
I know the way he wants to play. But when you're bringing me Ten Hag, who won the Eredivisie, so any manager can go to Eredivisie and win there because it's easier to win it there. But you're bringing a manager like that to the Premier League. It's gonna take him time to put his team together. But again, Premier League, the English media, the fan and everything, they're gonna be a lot of pressure. That's why you need a winning manager. Who's been there? That's why I keep telling Arsenal fans. I'm a Chelsea fan. Yes, I can banter Arsenal, but let's be realistic here. Mikel Arteta cannot win Arsenal the Premier League title. It cannot, because it doesn't have the know-how It's not been there before.
But you have to learn from somewhere. No?
Liverpool and Manchester City have been there. I keep telling people, Man City can go on a crazy 25 games in a bound without losing match. Liverpool can do the same thing. Arsenal Football Club cannot do the same thing because they have not been there before. Whenever they've been there, they crumbled. They've not been there before. The pressure of them winning the league will make them just collapse because they've not been there before. Liverpool and City have been there. They will know how to galvanize themselves and say, okay, if it is just for us to just play back today, we're going to find a way to win. They'll find a way to win. Remember, Pep won the league without even Haaland. He won the league without Haaland. So he's been there before. He knows how to win the league. So when they go to Ten Hag, and I'm like, the new ownership has to come in has to make decision. Sancho out of the team. Marcus Rashford not informed. He scored 30 goals last season on competition. He's not informed. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, his head is always hot whenever they play matches. Something has to be done with him. There is Casemiro. There's Varane. He's having a problem with Varane. Having a problem with Casemiro. Having a problem with Rashford. Having a problem with Sancho. How does that feel? Because those players are on big wages. They have to find a way to make that work. Because big managers find a way to work with big players to make them either make them feel around a team or tell them, you're not part of my team, you cannot get sold. Now they already know their reality, they'll move on. But Ten Hag is not doing that. It's not doing that. As for me. So now your take on United and Ten Hag.
Yeah, man. First things first. Shout out the panel, Chris. When Chris is here, you know something bad's happened. A. B. When Cruz is early, you know Chelsea haven't done well. So just keep watching, bear that in mind. These two will never be here on time. So even me, if I'm here early, you know something's wrong. Sorry. So shout out the panel, like the vid. SSB, you guys didn't get robbed. So I just wanted to address that comment there. Didn't get robbed. Let me talk about United, right? As an aside, this same United team that we made look like the Brazil 2002 squad lost 3-0 to Bournemouth.
I have no comment to that. I don't want to talk about United.
It's all right.
I talk about that match.
It's fine.
5 hours.
Fine.
You're not living your 5 hours.
It's okay. No, this United squad that we made look like the 2002 Brazil squad or the Liverpool squad that was about to do Liverpool and all this stuff.
Oh, you mean the Liverpool team that you called tier 2? Anyways, continue.
Yeah, chance after chance, you know. Somehow, some way, lost score. It should have been over 6. If I'm looking at United objectively, fundamentally they aren't a good side. I'm sorry to say that. As much as, you know, I'll critique Chelsea later, don't get me started. But fundamentally for United, I'm sorry. I think Chimere is watching. You guys are on a good side, man. Like, let's just be real. There's a lot of holes in the squad, right? You know, with Ten Hag, the coach. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan, but I'm not a hater as well. But there have been some head scratching decisions on your watch. Like, for me at the time period, and I wouldn't say I'm a Mason Mount hater. I appreciated his time at Chelsea. I respected his time here, actually. I wouldn't even say appreciated. I respected his time here. But I didn't understand why United were fixated on this guy, only for this guy not to be playing games, not to be starting games. I don't understand that. McTominay, pound for pound, one of the worst. Even though he scored 2 against Chelsea again, pound for pound, one of the worst midfielders I've seen. Midfielders, the job of an actual midfielder, he's one of the worst. But it's here game in and game out. And it's what Blue Eye said on streams previous, right? United for a large period of time last season was Rashford Incorporated. It was Rashford Inc. So if Rashford played well and scored, United will see out the game. But unfortunately now, Rashford's hit a bad spell of form. I'd lie. United are struggling. Unfortunately, I watched a bit of the game yesterday, but it was bad, man. It was bad, and there's just no consistency, like you said. I would agree with Chris. Generally, everyone has to be on the same wavelength, right? There should be vibes. There should be positivity. I'd lie. Do you remember when Liverpool drew to West Brom and they went there and it should be stuff like that? I'd lie, but no one's happy because like Chelsea to a degree, United was sold a lie. It was sold a lie because when you hear about Ajax, you automatically think, oh, it's good football.
Yeah, total football.
It's technicalities, total football, exactly.
You are
But
a club system, Lord have mercy.
I don't know if anyone did their research. I don't care about Eredivisie, so I'm not researching him. If he came to Chelsea, or that guy Slots, was that his name? Arnie Slot, whatever his name is. If he came to Chelsea, I'd research him and find out what he's about. But generally, I don't care about Eredivisie. So I don't know what sort of football they were playing. I don't know if it was good or not. But some of the signings, man, and that's coming from a Chelsea fan. Some of the signings, bro, doesn't make any sense, man. Doesn't make any sense. So I feel bad for the United fans in a way. Is there a quick fix? No. Me personally, I'd wait for the ownership situation to finally resolve itself, and then we'll make an
But the problem, even if the ownership comes in, would they be able to back Ten Hag? Because
no, they'll have to make a decision. Like Abdullah, sorry to cut you off. Like Bowley did, unfortunately, like Bowley did, right? He came in, gave Tuchel time to analyze. Unfortunately, Tuchel got sacked, and then it started a process of unfortunate events. But he got sacked. So with Ten Hag, it'll be the same. I'll hope they'll give him the same grace, right? Analyze him objectively, see the trends and patterns, and decide what to do. But
sorry to cut you, because the reason I said that is because when I watch United play, they play exactly like Chelsea. No identity, no pattern of play, no leadership, no structure, no nothing. They just play flat. That's it. And if you are doing that, with a couple of the players you wanted in your team, there is a big problem. See now, this is not the structural problem. That's on the manager now. That's not the structural problem now. That's on the manager because there is no pattern of play yet. When you watch United play, and I told you already, they do not have any loss in Premier League. They don't have any draw. They've lost and they've won matches. They lose big and they win big. But they want to win. They are the only team in Premier League who has not lost, who have not drawn a match in the EPL. No draw. No draw. They have lost.
I'd lie. Let me just round up, because I think for me, if I'm just going small picture, right? I'm going small picture. Fundamentally, their midfield is still the biggest problem in that team, and that's been a case for how many years? That their midfield is been their biggest issue. Just based on the games, I don't know. I don't have the fixtures in front of me, right? But if I'm going off memory, most of the games have involved them conceding 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the games, even go to the Champions League as well. They're conceding 3 or 4. No matter the circumstance of the match, they're going to concede 3 or 4. So it's crazy. You see, Chelsea Football Club are the team that didn't want to give them 3, which is again another issue. But you know, they can't control a game, and I feel like I've heard that from United fans for about 3 years. They cannot control a game. The Galatasaray.
Yeah, where they were 3-1 up.
They were 3-1 up. Why are you playing football like that? I just don't understand. Like, why are you guys playing football like that? So that's just me for United. I don't think there's a quick fix with anything in life. There's probably not a quick fix. They just got to ride out the wave, unfortunately, for United fans. Hope they get healthier, although everyone's facing injuries. And then we go from there. But Ten Hag also needs to work on, one final point. I've been talking a lot. Ten Hag needs to work on player management on that side, right? Because you can't keep on beefing your whole squad. I'm hearing Sancho, now it's Varane. No one knows what's going on with Varane. Rashford too. No one knows what's going on with Varane. You wanted Maguire, McTominay out. They're now looking like mainstays in your team. You know, the Gea situation. Don't know how it is. Ronaldo situation. So it's tough, man. It's tough. Just player management at this in 2023. That might be.
You know what makes me laugh? Because I watched United match yesterday when I was coming up from work. I was analyzing because I wanted to do the show today. What makes me laugh is Bruno Fernandes intentionally just got a yellow card because he doesn't want to get abused on Sunday. I like that in him. I read Bruno. See, that's how captain should be. James, if you are listening to me, do the same thing. Thank God you are injured. Just get out of the team for now. Maybe till next year we'll see you. Maybe till next year.
I'll get to that brother soon. I'll get to that brother real soon.
We'll get there. But Bruno is already getting
that guy real soon.
See, he intentionally get that yellow card because he doesn't want to get cost on Sunday at Anfield. See, that match on Sunday, I already said it to everybody. Maximum I'm expecting from Chris, I already told you, I'm expecting 10. Last year was 7. I'm expecting 10.
Abdullahi in life.
Please don't play Darwin Nunes. I am begging you. Please. Please.
Respect Darwin. But anyways, one thing I've seen in football, whenever the entire world expects a certain result, oftentimes that result doesn't happen. So I'd just say temper expectations for the game, man.
But I expected a massacre. It's Anfield. I expect a massacre. That's what I expect.
Just temper expectations.
What's United's next fixture?
Man United.
Liverpool.
Oh, it's Liverpool next.
Liverpool, Aston Villa, West Ham.
But I'm like Chris's point, right? Because I remember when they started the season off poorly, and they had Liverpool last year, and everyone thought they were going to get smoked, and then somehow they won the game, right? And then I think the 7-0 wiping. I think Liverpool's form going into that game wasn't great, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't great, innit? So it's a derby like that. It happens. Form goes out the window, but generally, it's my expectation is Liverpool win that game. It would be, I don't want to say it, it's because it sounds rude. I'm like, it's going to be like Ole and Ragnick that season where Liverpool just did what they wanted.
See, you know what I love about Liverpool, and it boils down to the manager. They have the mentality. They have the intelligence because club instilled that in them.
No, but Abdullahi,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just to branch off just a touch, because I did have the privilege. I went to bed early on Friday, so I had the privilege of watching that early kickoff. This weekend, Liverpool v Palace from minute 0 to minute 90. Now, I watched that game. It was very interesting how that game went. I'm not going to talk about stats of some players.
Yes, I understand. For the first they were abysmal.
Listen to this guy. This is
how you know the difference between a medical club, an average club, and a world-class club.
Yeah, they're world-class. You see? Yeah, Abdullahi, you're right.
Because they can play as bad as much that they are, but they have quality players around them. When you switch off, it's game over. You know that for sure. When Salah is there, you know it's gonna turn up. When you have players like that Diaz, Van Dijk, and they will turn up because you know they are quality players where you know they can turn up anytime, any day, and they are in form. Even if
what's funny? Darwin be getting all these shots, but Luis Diaz be getting away with murder every week. But anyways, let's continue.
No worries. But I also watched the early kick. I was like, Liverpool look back today, but in my mind I was like, they win this match because they have quality players in
Abdullahi, let's be real. I don't know if Chris is going to be honest. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
The game changed, right? And I've said this guy has been the downfall of a nation. I said this guy and his brother have been the downfall of a nation. For years. I've been telling you about Jordan Ayew for years, brother. So him getting sent off changed the momentum of the game. Liverpool got the 2 games and rose it. So congrats Liverpool, they rose it 100%. They stayed in. I don't even think that goal was a pen, by the way. They need to sort that out because Kwanzaa doesn't affect that situation at all by him just kicking the underside of his boots. Get real, man.
He doesn't, but he should know that refs can give penalties like that because I've seen that given a lot.
The Arsenal game, for example, with Gabriel Jesus, that was flagrantly worse, right?
Yeah,
and it's not given. Come on, refs. Come on, man. Let's just be the standard.
You know it's subjective, bro. Pens, offsides, it's all subjective, bro.
Objective. I don't even know.
Come on. No, but Abdullahi, my thing is, right, especially with certain players, there'll be certain players that aren't trying to con the ref, right? I'm not going to hold that universal for all. You could see it, man. Abdullahi, you could see it. Like, let's get real. An actual challenge, a forceful challenge, you could see intent. You can see it, Abdullahi.
I know.
It's not right, man. And I'm seeing Romero again. Romero, I saw that today. You're lucky as well. Like, the standard is gone out the drain. But shout out Liverpool because they they seem to have it more so than any other club.
And I
It's
heard,
called
I said,
getting
like,
it done.
I was talking to I think a Liverpool fan on another snapper yesterday when I was just kind of previewing the match, and I was laughing, and I said it to them. Me and Liverpool, I might have some fight with them in terms of bantering and everything. With under Tuchel and the way I was angry with kind of stuff, it can happen with bantering stuff. I said it. I'm gonna be happy if Man City doesn't win that. If Liverpool win that league, I'm gonna be the happiest guy because I know the kind of team Liverpool have, the manager they have, the team they have. If they win it,
The
peace will
players,
reign in the whole entire social media. But if Arsenal win it, everybody will not sleep in the world of football. But if Liverpool win it, peace will reign because
no,
everybody.
we need a serious team to win it, Abdullahi. We need a serious because
Liverpool is a serious team. They win it. I won't even if they win it.
No, because Abdullahi, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give up my mic in it. But what Pep said at the press conference, I don't know if anyone saw that press
I
conference.
listened to it. Yeah.
What do you say?
Where he said
the only person that can lose the Premier League title is Manchester City.
Yeah, he said if City lose the Premier League, it's a failure. But if any other team loses,
Oh.
no one cares.
It's normal.
You know how bad
Yeah.
that is. Do you know how bad that is to say about this league? It's embarrassing, man.
Nah, it is. I kind of laughed when I saw that.
Pep is mad.
No, but it is.
Pep is mad. Pep, I don't even know how to say. He's a madman. But it's Pep. Pep is.
He's
Pep.
the only guy in world football that can say it, though.
It's Pep, though. We know
That's it.
Pep is Pep. Pep will always be Pep. We know him for that. So he's.
But let's be honest. Like, you're speaking the truth, though. Like,
Yeah, he's
Wait.
preaching.
Well,
like
Pep
when
is-
if City don't win this league, he's gonna get crucified
he will.
by a certain portion of the media and fans. Like, have hope. For example, I know he's gonna torch Pep. I just know it.
But that's why I said. I already said it. Man City can go 25 match unbeaten without losing. They've been there before. They know how to do it. If you watch, look at when Man City start winning the league, they will play bad in the first half of the season. Come January, February, the league is over. I'm not joking. The league is over.
They need investment, though.
See, from January, I know they will do that. From January, February. Man City will play bad maybe from August to December. They will win match, lose, draw, lose. See, you see, once they cross that December, they enter January, February. Just log off.
Yeah, but they've
log off
replaced.
social media.
They replaced two of their game changer players in Gundogan and Mahrez
Mahrez,
with Jeremy Doku, who's not fully developed. He's a development player,
Mm-hmm.
so it's going to take time for him to actually be what Mahrez has been for City.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a ready-made player, and Kovacic is over the hill, and he's not got the same quality as what Gundogan has.
Is that a player?
Can I ask the panel a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of here, Tom, as well. That's the point. Who do you think will be the first coach that gets sacked? Because the coach hasn't been sacked, right? Yeah.
Tenn Hag's football by the end of the
Who
week.
is going to be the first coach? I'm talking about add Roy Hodgson, add the Sheffield United coach, Vincent Kompany. You're on the clock. Steve Cooper as well. Who's going to be the first coach to get sacked?
I think Poch.
No, the Nottingham Forest coach was.
Wait, the reason I said Poch is because
Steve Cooper.
Wait.
Yeah.
No. The reason I said Poch is I'm looking at our run of games, and I'm telling you for the fact now, Sheffield United. After Sheffield United, we play Wolverhampton Wanderers and Crystal Palace. Those three matches, if Poch doesn't get a win, I can guarantee you.
If he wins,
Abdullah, we're gonna be flipping Charity FC. We're gonna be flipping Charity.
See, you see those three teams. You know what? We're gonna be touching them 3 points. You take. That's what we do.
I hate to break it to you, Abdullahi. Poch isn't getting fired, bro.
You will get fired.
He's gonna
I
get
don't think
fired, and we're
there'll be
gonna
that
bring in
reaction,
another
right?
yes
You will
man.
get fired, and I'm telling you,
Abdullah.
the ownership will not fire him. Chelsea fan base will fire Poch.
Okay, but he's already been fired then. But he's not gonna get fired.
He's not legitimately
Abdullah.
But Pochettino is a dead man walking. The board will not fire him, but the fan base will fire him.
Abdullah.
Right.
I think he's gonna get fired. And the thing is, I mean, I saw the quotes from his post-game press conference when I was bro. I'm like, bro, what the F? I'm like, yeah, bro, like at first I didn't want to think he was a yes man just because, like, based on his history at Tottenham and PSG.
I don't want
But yeah, I mean, bro, the guy's clearly a yes man. I hate to say it. And the thing is, bro, like, I see people asking, "Oh, who are we gonna get if we sack him?" And then people are saying, "Oh, flipping Mourinho, Xabi Alonso, etc." Bro, dude, this stupid ass board is gonna hire another yes man. They're not gonna hire no serious manager that's
Steven,
gonna have.
You'll probably get an interim till the end of the season, so you can get a top
No,
manager.
bro,
say something like that in your life.
Steven, remember what happened in the summer when you guys were looking for a manager?
This is what I mean. Like, there was Nagelsmann, there was all these top managers, but none of them.
Well, we back the board. We're not serious. They stall talks because they want a yes man. It's simple.
And that's the thing, Nana.
They've driven Chelsea to the ground, man. I no longer recognize this club.
That's why I don't see.
Guys, we'll get to Chelsea later.
See,
when it comes to Chelsea, I want to rant.
I
have so many things to say when it comes to Chelsea. I have to rant. Starting somebody is gonna get cost and abuse, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sick and tired. Somebody will get cost and abuse tonight.
Abdullah, you know, I know you will get to this, but how are you guys back to the same place as last season?
Yes,
it doesn't make sense.
When we get there,
we're mud brothers. We're in the mud, guys.
When we get there, we'll talk. Right now, I don't want to talk. Your take on United and then Hagg.
No, Abdullah. Let me answer Yasir's question.
Hold on. This is me, Tom. We got to United. I said it. They're like Chelsea. No identity.
You're better.
No identity, no pattern of play, no structural.
Not as bad.
No structural play.
You have now. You guys had what we want.
And I think man management also is a problem with regards to the way United play. And I said
what did you say, Tom?
Manager can be strict with players.
I want exactly what Chelsea Football Club has had, and that's a reshuffle from the top to the bottom.
Tom,
you want to what?
I want to reshuffle, guys. I want to
because I want to know your.
I've been here 5 years ago with Jose Mourinho in the same place, and nothing's changed.
But Tom, you say that.
So Tom, I'll come to you say Tom because this is me with United now. Because I want to have your take on that too.
Yeah.
United is like Chelsea when I talk about it because no pattern, this was and everything. But I also think the overall problem for me is Erik Ten Hag for me. Because you can be strict to players, but to what level? You have to be in the middle ground. Yes, Ronaldo, I understand. Sancho, I can understand. Beefing with Varane, with Rashford, with so I'm like, what the heck is going on here? You gotta fix those bullshit now. You gotta fix it. You are the you can be strict with them, but the minimum of certain has to be is way too much because I always say it. Pep Guardiola and club ask credit to the back. They've won trophies whenever they go.
Yeah.
So Pep has won trophy, Klopp has won. So so whenever when they get to with their players, the players know what the manager wants. They will do exactly what the manager wants.
Yeah.
But you're just coming to a new club where you want to put your feet on the ground and you are making this decision. Eventually, if you get backfired, the player will not go. You're gonna be the manager. They're gonna get put out. You get sent out. You get sent packing.
And this is what I'm saying. Abdullah, this is exactly what I'm saying, and this is why when I made the comment that I just said, which might sound ludicrous, with I want what Chelsea had. I want the whole club to jump ship. I want a fresh start. And yesterday will probably agree with me in saying it. We want new ownership to come into this football club. We want new directors into this club, new sporting director, a new set of players, reshuffle the whole fucking thing, and probably get a new coach. Start from scratch. That is the best thing and best course of action for us. Because for 10 years, we have tried it with the exact same group of players. We've spent top dollar. We've bought the best players in the world in Pogba. Didn't happen for us. We've spent on protege players, supposedly anyway. These players, protege players, don't ever get an opportunity to play week in, week out for Manchester United. The likes of Palestras, the likes of Hoylands, we don't give them the chances, or we don't develop them in the right way as young players. We've been down the experience route with Jose Mourinho. We won nothing of major credibility. We went down the youth route with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 3 years. We got embarrassed in every semi-final we went to, and then when we actually get to a final, we stunk the place out. And now we come to here with Erik Ten Hag. In 18 months' time, this guy played some brilliant football with Ajax, and he can't try and translate that over to Manchester United in 18 months. I don't expect it to be finished article.
I'm hearing something on Twitter now that there might be a decision tomorrow with Pochettino future. I hope that happens. Please, God, please. I hope that happens, but we get it. Continue.
I don't think he'll be sacked. He won't be sacked until after Liverpool. I'd put my money.
I'm talking about Pochettino.
Sorry, I misheard you.
But there's been a report already.
Tom,
I'm seeing on Twitter now. There's been a report with regards to his future, but we get it.
Tom,
fair enough.
Tom, if you don't mind me adding a little bit, because I apologize, guys. Like I don't have much time, but you know, Tom, just to add what you Tom said. Here's the thing, you know, does Erik ten Hag need to? Does he deserve a lot of criticism? Yes. But I think I've been thinking about this. You know, the issue is a lot of these managers are not bad managers. I don't think Erik ten Hag is a bad manager. And this whole notion that the club is too big for him, all that stuff. To be honest, the last 10 years, Manchester United won 2 Carabao Cups. The second was under Ten Hag, 1 Europa League, 1 FA Cup, and 2 Community Shield.
Like, we won everything bar the big 2.
Man, that's literally what we won. Man United really didn't win much in the last 10 years. So I don't think the club is too big for him. But the thing is, when you're outside of the club, when you're a manager and you have nothing to do with Man United, and you come into Man United, every manager falls into the same pattern. Why? You come in, and every player wants to earn their spot. So you will see a resurgent Luke Shaw. You will see a brilliant season from Rashford. You will see players that are not good enough have their best form they have in their entire career at Man United. So as a manager, what happens is these players show you something that they're capable of, and you trust these players. And then what happens is, not after they get comfortable, after the manager believes in them and they secure a starting spot, then these players get comfortable and they believe yes, we're good. We're gonna play every game. We're not gonna be dropped. And what happens is they revert back to type. And the more I think about it, the more and I think a lot of United fans have realized this, but more and more Man United fans are start to realize it. A lot of these players are simply not good enough. They can have a good season, one season, but they just, in terms of, yes, do they have ability? Yes, but a lot of players in the Premier League have ability, but to be at that top level, to play at a big club, you have to be consistent every season. Even if you have a bad season, you need to have your bad season has to be an average season. But with a lot of these United players, the bad season is horrendous. It's so bad. So what ends up happening is, like, okay, the manager sees these players, Bruno, they sees, Rashford having 30 goals, Luke Shaw being a fantastic left back, and the resurgence of Wan-Bissaka. All of a sudden, then he's like, okay, all right, I can trust these players. And then all of a sudden, the following season, all these players, they fall from a cliff out of nowhere. And this is just normal for these players. But as a manager, you're confused. You don't know what's going on. I agree. He made a lot of mistakes where, fighting with Varane, I think, is a big mistake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like United fans, we're very flip-flop. Rafael Varane, as great as he is, as great as career he had, when he came to United, one of the biggest issues we had is like a lack of availability. A lot of times he's not available. He's always tends to be injured, and he's not getting any younger. And United fans always say, "Oh, Champions League Varane, fourth." Yes, but not with United. United hired the service of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a phenomenal player, one of the best strikers of his generation. But the time we signed him, he was old. Cavani, one of the best strikers. We signed him when he was old. We signed Eriksen, in my opinion, one of the best strikers Premier League number 10s. Phenomenal at Spurs. We signed him from Brentford when he's old. And it's like all these players that, you shouldn't treat Varane like this. I get it. But Man United fans, we're looking at them for what they have done in the game. But then in 2023, We need to move on from these players. Real Madrid moved on years ago, 2-3 years ago, from Casemiro and Varane. Man United, and they moved on, and that's it. They Real Madrid. But Man United fans, we're very what you call it? Oh, Varane, he did, yes, but at United, yes, he's a very good player, but he's unreliable. So do I believe the manager did a lot of issues? Does he have to make a lot of mistakes? Yes, but it's like with this United club, when a manager that has nothing to do with United comes in, he comes in blindfolded. Because when you come, but if you're not involved in Man United, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you simply don't. But when you come in, everything looks great. The first season is phenomenal. Everyone is ready, is willing to play for you. Everything is great. You know, your majority of the time, the first season of a manager is fantastic. It is. But after the first season, when players feel a sense of comfortability, and they understand that, the manager trusts me, that's when a lot of these players, they fall back into the old habits. Where you have Luke Shaw getting injuries. This is normal for Luke Shaw. When things are not going well for him, he gets injured. He's out, comes back, gets injured again, not available. This is nothing new with Rashford. Rashford, when the season that Ole got sacked, and Randy came in, was horrendous. Was bad, to the point that Anthony Alenga, again, it's like deja vu. Garnacho replacing academy player, taking over Rashford's spot. Another academy player. So before under Ragnick it was Alenga. Now is Garnacho. This is nothing new. Bruno Fernandes being petulant, literally running around like a headless chicken, getting a yellow card prior to the Liverpool game, and you're 3-0 down, you get a yellow card instead of you trying to galvanize the team. No, it doesn't happen. Yeah. So and then you look at the players like McTominay and Maguire that shouldn't be here, starting every single game, and people are like, oh, why are the manager picking him? The guy, he wanted to get rid of these players.
Yeah,
he wanted to get rid of them and replace them with better players. But when we have injuries, when Mason Mount is injured and Casemiro is injured, and what do?
Yeah.
So
he doesn't trust them, you say, though. He doesn't trust them to get top European players. When they pissed about for 2 months for Frankie de Jong, saying all summer that they'll get him his number one player, and they didn't get him in, that was the turning point for the manager to say, I want control of the football operations. I want to do my own recruitment. That is not how top elite managers work. They don't. Because any top European manager in world football will tell you, even the great Peps and Klopps of our generations will tell you they don't do the scouting networks for their players. They go to their departments or their sporting director with the attributes that they want for that profile. They will say, I need a new midfielder. I need them to be quick. I need them to have technical ability. I need them to be mobile. But I want them to be a physical player. Or I want them to be low sense of gravity. They give them a profile, and then that sporting director gets them 4 or 5 players, some of which that they'll never have even heard of, maybe even from the Ecuadorian 5th tier league or whatever, and they'll buy them that player. Because why? It fits the profile and the model. Not because, there's a superstar player called Paul Pogba over in Juventus, let's go and get him for 100, near enough 80, 90 million pounds. That's not how top football clubs work. It's not about name anymore. It's about recruitment, and it's about character, but also quality. And the problem with us is we don't have those things in most of our players. We don't. But it's an acceptance now.
And Tom, I'm not gonna lie to you. Here's the thing. I'm not here to protect Erik ten Hag. To be honest, I'm exhausted. If Erik ten Hag leaves or goes, it is what it is. This is not we sacked Mourinho, we sacked Van Gaal, we sacked Oli, we sacked them. This is just the typical of our football club. But the thing is, for me, is I think the most damning thing is when Ralf Rangnick somehow, somewhere, when United got Ralf Rangnick to the football club, it was the best thing for the football club. But at the same time, the football club didn't understand how to use a person like Ralph Ragnick. You had a guy that understood football, how to build a structure, and you made him an interim manager. Ralph Ragnick said something that simple. It's very simple. He said, as a football club, you need to have an identity of how you want to play.
Yeah.
How you want to play.
Exactly what I was saying with players. Exactly what I was just saying with players. You get attributes, you find what player that the manager wants.
Exactly, Tom. You figure out what you want to do. What identity you want how you want to play. What is your identity is, and then you go get a manager that fits that identity. So my question is, when you hired Ten Hagg, what was the conversation? Why did you hire him? Because when Ten Hagg says they didn't hire me to play the Ajax way, the way I interpret that is Ten Hagg was told that, can you take this team and make this team that we have now perform? And he said yes, and that's why he was hired. So because that is because that's the only thing that actually makes sense. That's the only thing that actually makes sense.
I mean, you see, to be fair to him, he tried to play that high pressing, high energy style for 2 matches, and he got slapped up in both of them, and that was Brighton and Brentford last season. If the Brighton game, he should have lost 3-4-0. The Brentford game, he did lose that, and then he reverted to type, and then he realised the players that he had couldn't play that way in the Liverpool game.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, you said he lost to who?
Last season, he played his style that he's renowned for playing.
Yes,
and he got slapped up in both games.
Wait, what? Against who? Wait, who are the games? The
first 2 games of our season last season, we lost to Brighton 2-1 at home. It should have been about 3-4-0. And then Brentford.
You lost to Brighton?
We're talking about style of play.
Yeah. You lost to Brighton, right?
Yeah, in that game, and then we lost 4-0 away at Brentford.
Mm-hmm.
When we lost in those 2 games, he tried to play that way. We even saw it when David De Gea made the suicide pass into Eriksen to try and play out from the back. But we didn't have the players at that time, technically wise, to play out from the back. You only had one player who could do that we knew at renowned level could do it, and that was Martinez in defence. The rest of them, they've never played that way. Maguire's never played in that system. Wan-Bissaka's never. Luke Shaw's never. So it was new to them in that environment. When they went into those 2 games, they got slapped up by both teams that badly, he abandoned the whole plan. But I can't understand you, in an interview, to be Manchester United manager, you go to this guy who has no major trophies outside of Holland and say to him, you can be Manchester United manager, but we want you to play just to accommodate our players. If you're a top European manager and you're on the up, as he was at that time, he was in the market as a top European coach, you don't accept that job if you're not going to be able to implement the way that you want to play football. But I think he did come in, he wanted to play the Ajax way because he tried to do it in the 2 games, and he got slapped up in both of them. And I think he looked at it and thought, I can't play this way with these lot. And I think it's got that far and that deep to the point where he knew that he needed certain players and profiles to come into this football club, and he didn't get them. He needed Frankie de Jong to come into this football club so he could change the dynamic in midfield. He didn't get that player. He got the opposite to that in Casemiro. And that's because it was a late panic buy. Let's just go and get the top European midfielder that we can to make up for what we lost out on with Frankie de Jong. And from that day dot and that signing onwards, he's never trusted the recruitment department to buy in players. And he hasn't, because the way that we recruited players in the summer, it was almost as if it was just people who Ten Hagg knew, or it was his ex-players. He knew Amrabat from Utrecht. He'd known Mason Mount from Vitesse when he was a young player over there on loan. He's known a lot of these players. Andrew Onani's worked with many years at Ajax. He knew a lot of these players. But the problem right here and now is we have a situation where we don't know how we're going to play. Coming up into any game, we don't know what team's going to turn up. The team that turned up against Chelsea, that was different. And the reason why it was different, because there was a fight. The players gave the bare minimum, which was effort, commitment, work rate. Albeit it wasn't a clear outlining of a style of play, it was basics. And in this game, with the Bournemouth game, those basics went out the window once again, as they have done most of the season. And like what you were saying before, Abdullahi, I don't think Chelsea and Man United are much different. The only difference is you've got top European elite scouting in your football club, and you're getting young talents. That's your process right now. Young players, which isn't normally what Chelsea are associated with. You normally used to go for 27, 28-year-olds. Let's win the league here and now. Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti. It's a different culture back then. Now, it's different because you want to build something. But if you're going to build something, you've got to ride it out. Us, I don't know what we're building, guys. That's the one thing that I'll say with us. With Pochettino, I can see how he's trying to build something and a style of play. But it's not working. It's not working. And you can blame that on whatever you want. Players, the coaching staff, the ownership for the amount of profiles of young players that you've got in there and the lack of experience. That's fine. Manchester United, we're the complete opposite of that. We've got the experienced aging squad who's done everything in world football, like Yasser was saying, Champions League, Varane, Casemiro, blah, blah, blah. But they're not doing anything for us. We've been down both models. And the only way I see this is for my football club changing. I just want a complete reset from top to bottom. If we could get rid of the owners tomorrow, I would do. If we could get rid of the CEO, sporting directors, I would do. I would rip the whole football club from its foundations and start again. Because the way that we've built this team, and any of our teams for the last 10 years, it's not worked. And even when we made certain decisions, it didn't make sense at that time. So Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager in our history, in our football club, leaves, and you appoint David Moyes after him. That's not how a top football club would work. If we're living in the moment and top European football clubs, you get another big European coaching. And at that sort of time, in that sort of sphere, that was the time when you should have brought Jose Mourinho in, not the time when we did do. That was too late. And even when he come in, he got into a brilliant position. He got second place behind Manchester City, that summer window where we should have backed him with all the best players that he wanted, the defenders that he wanted, the midfielder, and get him a new centre-forward. We didn't do it. We failed it. And the players completely down tools and chucked him under the bus. They did the same to Ole, they did the same to Ragnick, and they're going to do the same to Erik ten Hag. But this is where my thinking comes into it, as to he doesn't have a clear style of play. Because if he's not going to play that Ajax style of football, I don't know what he's going to play, because that's the only thing that he's known for. He's not one of these adaptable managers where he'll go to a different club and he'll change it. It's very rare you see a manager just go completely away from what they know just to try and build something completely new. He got the Manchester United job based upon how Ajax played, because he didn't win anything of major nostalgia at Ajax, barring a Eredivisie title. And I understand it's hard to do that at Ajax. It's hard to win a Champions League. But he's not had any other top European experience either. So it was almost take a risk on a top European coach starting out. But the difference is, he's not a coach right now. He's tried to coach these players to the way that he wants to play, and he abandoned it after 2 games. So I'm sitting there now, scratching my head thinking, how are we even going to play? There's no identity. And like what Yasser said with what Ragnick said, you have to have a clear identity of how you want to play, and you stick with it. And by sticking with it, it might mean you don't have the right manager straight away. It might take you a couple of managers to get the right guy in.
Yeah.
But they will be of a similar profile. For example, if Eddie Howe left Newcastle tomorrow, I already know the sort of managers that would go towards that job. It would be intensity managers who have a physical style of play, energy, who suit that football club. Probably play it similar to how Graham Potter played at Brighton. Eddie Howe, Graham Potter, similar sort of style of coaches. Manchester United, we don't have a plan after Erik Ten Hag. And that's the only reason why, if he doesn't go, because he's not beating Bayern Munich and we're out of the Champions League, that's a guarantee. And he's not going to beat Liverpool. We will get embarrassed. So after those 2 games, if he's still here, I have no clue what he is still doing here. Based upon the way that we play, but also the embarrassing results that we will have had. And at the end of the day, so I guess summarising the whole thing, we don't have a plan after this guy. And that's what scares the shit out of me. Because top European football clubs have a plan for when their manager leaves. Even in this situation now where Liverpool and City are committed to Pep and Klopp, they have an idea who they want to go and get afterwards.
Yeah.
They do. If Pep said to Manchester City tomorrow, I'm done, see you later, they know who they're going out in European football to get. They don't need 6 months to recruit a manager or hire an interim till the end of the season, and then we'll get whoever we can do and we'll do our research and analysis to get the right manager. Manchester City don't work like that. They don't need that time. They already know who they're going to get. And that's the same problem with you guys at Chelsea. You got rid of Pochettino tomorrow. Can you honestly sit there and say that there's a clear alternative option who A, would guarantee to come in, and B, thinking no? And that's the thing after A. And me at Manchester United, I'm in the exact same problem. There isn't that guaranteed option. There is arguably 2 to 3 top European coaches that's available in world football. You guys wouldn't go and get Conte, and I don't think we would, with the way that with how his demeanour is and the way that he criticised boards and players. Zidane's already said he never liked the English game anyway because he never come here as a player. So I'd cease to amaze if he ever came here to manage. And at the end of the day, the only other top European manager that doesn't have a job right now is Hansi Flick. But he absolutely shut the bed when he got the Germany job.
But the problem with Flick is, in club level, he's good. But in terms of country level, it's difficult because in terms of...
But he needs time. That's the problem with
yes,
Flick.
but
He needs the time.
What you can give Flick is, he has a body of work because he's won something. He knows how to manage a top European club. Big egos, big personality.
Big players. This is what I'm saying. Big players. This is why when I said it
because
before,
when he won the UCL and the Stephen Barcelona in Bayern Munich, he managed big personality in those players like Manuel Neuer, Thomas Müller, Robert Lewandowski, and he managed them because he won them because he's a winner. So he won them stuff because he plays just like Klopp. The game pressing stuff. That's how he plays. That's how he plays.
Yeah, high intensity. But the problem with how Flick plays in the Premier League, he's going to get found out at some point. In the first 6, it might be all rosy. It'll be very similar to what Ange has done at Spurs. It'll be rosy for a couple of months, and then when he gets settled into his ways in the league, he'll come up against a top team and he'll lose 4-5-0. A Manchester City, a Liverpool, whoever, based upon that high line that he wants to play, because he will sit all 4 of his defenders, sit 2 of his centre halves. It doesn't matter if they've got the pace or not on the halfway line, and he won't abandon the way that he wants to play. But the problem and the culture that we've got at Manchester United is, if he come in, I can guarantee you those players will throw him under the bus. They don't give a shite what you've won as a manager. They don't. Even if you brought in Zinedine Zidane, they'll throw this guy under the bus. This group of players, they don't respect any manager in European football. We've had the up-and-coming sort of Premier League manager in David Moyes. Didn't work. Players threw him under the bus. We had it with Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, been all over Europe, won everything. Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Porto, Chelsea, now Manchester United. Threw him under the bus. They don't give a shit about what you've done as a resume or anything. So, if you want to come to Manchester United and be a coach, it's a long day. It really is. And in the case of what you guys are trying to build at Chelsea, I would rather have what you guys have right now, because you right now have a team that's ready that can play for the future. We need to do what you guys have done, and that's reshuffle. We need a younger squad. You guys already have that right now. You just need to get the right manager to take you forward. Yeah. And in fairness to Pochettino, I don't think you're playing well. Football is a results business, and you're not getting results right now. But who do you go and get? This is the problem. You guys, especially, and I know we'll discuss Chelsea anyway. you guys will have a thought process if you probably get rid of Pochettino. I don't think you would go and get somebody, but I think you'd have a rough idea who you would want based upon the candidates that you went for in the summer. But for us, we sack Eric Ten Hag tomorrow. It's Steve McClaren and Darren Fletcher till the end of the season, interim managers. That's how Manchester United run.
Because I'm looking at your next 3 matches now: Liverpool, West Ham, and Aston Villa. I don't think that I don't see.
You got Bayern Munich in there as well. Let's not forget that, mate. I'm like, it's a long day, mate. It really is. We're getting circumcised in all these games. I'm telling you, we are.
Lord have mercy. But we'll see how it goes. Kuz, quick. United and Ten Hag. Your take on them?
Yo, big up everyone. Hope everyone's good. Big up, bros. Yeah, United. I'll be quick. I think I've said it consistently about United. Their problem. I've listened to what you guys are saying. I just think it's quite a simple problem. I think it's the players. I think the players and the ownership. I think the manager has made some mistakes, no doubt about it. He's made some mistakes with some of the decisions he's made from a disciplinarian point of view. But it's really simple, man. It's the ownership and the board level, Richard Arnold, all those guys, Myrtle, they're businessmen. They had this problem with Woodward when he was there before, putting players on certain contracts, not having a footballing structure in place. Similar thing. I know we're going to talk about Chelsea, but it's a similar kind of thing. You're not having a clear footballing structure. So obviously you're bringing in players through agents, through word of mouth, through the managers, trusting Ten Hag. Oh my days. You're trusting a manager who's not worked in the top 5 European leagues. You're trusting him to bring in players and his talent ID. Massive risk. It's not like you're saying to Conte, bring in 5 players who can do a job for you. And he says, you know what, I had this player at Juve, I had this player at this club, at this player. We say to Mourinho, bring in 5 players. You're telling Eric Ten Hag, who's not really managed at the top level, let's be honest, you're saying go out and you can have some sort of control over such signings. So of course he's going to bring you Malacia. Of course he's going to bring you Anthony. Of course he's going to bring you certain types of players. So Mason Mount. So obviously it's really easy to see. Like, I don't think Man United's problem is a mystical or really hard to figure out. You've got big players with big egos on big wages, so-called big players on big wages with big egos, affecting a dressing room. Ten Hag is now trying to stamp his authority on some of those problems because the results aren't going his way. But then again, players outlast the manager at Man United. Similar problem we had at some points as well. If you're Rashford right now, okay, you're throwing your toys out the pram. Bearing in mind, this manager backed him for a while, to be fair. And now kind of you can see there's a bit of a divide there. Not sure what's gone wrong with Varane. Probably Ten Hag's fault. Who knows? At the end of the day, it's always going to be the manager's fault because he needs to get what he needs to get out of the players. So we can probably assume that there's some bad eggs in that changing room. But ultimately, the manager has to try and navigate that situation no matter. I know it's quite sad to say, but he has to find a way to get the best out of the players because they're there and he's there. So they need each other to perform. But ultimately, if you look at who's going to be the worst off if they both don't perform working together, it's always going to be the manager. So I think the club need to, again, they need to establish some, I think you guys spoke about, need to establish what the direction of the club is from the top down, which is never going to happen when you have non-footballing people. Let's see if Enos and Jim Radcliffe can come in and try to establish some footballing structure. But until the footballing structure comes in and the manager, and you can build something, it's really simple to see. Like you cannot build a football club with just big players, big wages, and just think, we're going to sort everything out. Like, it's not going to work like that. You need to have a clear direction, style of play, and then you just move on from there. So I think the first thing they need to do is back Ten Hag in this situation, I would say, though. Back him to get rid of those bad characters. Because Rangnick, Mourinho, everyone's told them. Like I said, it's not a new problem for Man United. These guys were telling people on their farewell interviews, on their victory lap, they were telling people, look, you can get rid of me, you can say what you want, but, this is open heart surgery when you think back to what Rangnick was saying, when you think back to Mourinho. There's so many little markers that people have left so the Man United fans can follow the trail. And I follow the trail. I understand what they're saying. You need to really rip this apart and start again because there's some decisions and some people and some players that are really dragging the club down. So I think they just need to... Cruz,
if you're going to do one thing, you might... like when you were saying there with the play, like you say that the players are probably absolutely, yeah, it's a combination of everything. But if you're going to get rid of the players, you're going to get rid of the ownership, the directors, the manager's probably going to go along with it. Everything will change probably. And like you were saying with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all his henchmen coming in to Manchester United, if they put a proper structure in place, it will either make or break Erik Ten Hag because he's going to be judged based upon performance. That's it. But he's not going to be given the funds probably for the rest of the season to bring anybody else in because
I wouldn't give him any, but you know what it is?
I don't trust him.
I wouldn't give him any more money. I don't think, and I think if Jim Ratcliffe comes in, I think the other guy who was on earlier was saying it like the players they if you don't give him any money, then the new manager has to come in and the new manager has to say, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a look at this guy, and then they'll play good for 6 months, 6, 8 months, maybe even 12, and then before you know it, you're into next season and you're saying the same things again about the same players where you're like, oh, well, we didn't know that. Well, you did because they were rubbish under Ten Hag and they threw Mourinho under the bus and they threw Oli under the bus. So you'll always end up in the same position because the players will change and I don't trust play. I don't trust. So I think you just need to really probably stick behind Ten Hag. I think, but the ownership won't do that because then it's P's and Q's. It's all about making money. Like I said, the players will revolt and get rid of the manager before you can really weed out any bad issues. Like Rashford now, for example, he's not performing. He's not lead. He's not. You know, he's from Manchester. He's a Man United fan. He's a Manchester boy. Like, and you look at his mentality.
Boy for Manchester United. That's what he is.
Yeah. And he's a franchise player, and you look at him and you think this guy is not doing anything that a franchise or like, you know, if you look at other sports, when you're talking about the poster boy or franchise player, what that means, like as a captain or a leader or a main player, you need to be able to, when times are bad, drag the team forward. You need to have a good mentality. You need to be rallying the troop. This guy's PR trying to just, you know, when it doesn't go his way, he's throwing things down on the floor, new haircuts, everything. Like, I'm not a big fan of Rashford, to be honest. I just think he needs to like really focus on his football. But I think again, 400 grand, 5 years, game over. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything with that. And then another manager has to come in and try and work with Rashford, try and work with Wan-Bissaka. I think you might have been on the one time I spoke about it. He said the goalkeeper was probably the downfall of Erik Ten Hag because I feel like even though De Gea, yes, wasn't great, there's no way in a million years anyone can tell me that you can try and play out from the back and you do not sign ball playing centre mid or defenders, especially fullbacks. Yeah. If you look at when any good team plays out from the back, one of the best players to progress the ball out from the back, who's always usually the spearmen, are the fullbacks, especially right backs. And to have right backs that are not great, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, fullbacks that are past it, Luke Shaw, Malacia's injury now, we don't even know what's going on when he's going to be back. So I think, just to round up, I just think Man United have got a lot of issues, but it all stems from the top and they need to back Ten Hag just to get rid of the bad eggs. Because Rangnick tried to tell everyone, Oli tried to, but you know, you can't paper over it. First, Oli was too nice. Now Rangnick is too strict. Then Mourinho wasn't nice. So what do these players want? They want this too hot, it's like porridge. Too hot, too cold.
We've got exactly what Chelsea had for years. The difference is the characters that ran Chelsea, because the players ran Chelsea Football Club for years. A lot of managers didn't really have control. But the difference with Chelsea was you guys was winning things that way. So if you're winning things that way, you're not going to necessarily change it. It's a winning formula. Us, we've got players with characters, egos, and personalities who just clash with one another, and they don't necessarily fit with a manager either. The difference last season, and I can say it already, with players like Marcus Rashford, it wasn't necessarily Erik Ten Hag who had the major impact on him. It was one of his coaches, Benny McCarthy, that got the best season out of Marcus Rashford. Individually, because it was individualise a player. They used to take him away 30 minutes after training and say, right, we're going to do individualising training. That's why last season there was arguably maybe 2-3 players who had a lot better of a season than they have done in recent years. Those were Marcus Rashford. Arguably, you could maybe say a similar thing for Bruno Fernandes. He had a decent season last season. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Those 3 players, they worked on individually and said, let's get the best out of these 3 players. And individually last season, there was 3 of Man United's solidest players. But this season, because you've already peaked their powers, they already know the level that they can reach. Rashford's not going to get any better than what he did last season. And the problem is, he's not this kind of character who I think mentally has the energy every single season to say, I'm going to stick to that level. I'm going to go to them levels every single year. I don't think he's that kind of player. And if I'm being honest with you, we've had top potential players. Martial, when we brought him, was one of Europe's most elite players at a young level. But the problem with us is we never knew how to unlock his talent. We didn't know if he was a number 9, a left-sided player, whatever. But the thing that shit scared us was, and this comes to your point, Cruz, about getting rid of players, like we were saying about with Maguire and with McTominay. Manchester United were always hesitant to get rid of a player, say like Martial, because he's that talented. He can go to another football club and be world class. He's got the talent. But the problem is the injuries have always followed him. That's always been, say, Martial's issue. With, say, Harry Maguire and McTominay, if they'll go to another football club, do I honestly think they'll be world beaters? No. But I think they'll be a shadow of a doubt better than probably what they are right now at Manchester United, part of the cannon fodder, because McTominay will always get you goals. It might not get you the top goals in European football. And to be honest with you, it won't be any headliners. It will be your scrappy in the box, running in late and tapping it in or heading it in. That's it. But that's McTominay's game. Harry Maguire is not too dissimilar. Physical, bully boy, centre-half. But if he comes up against players who are a little bit tricky and with the ball to feet, he's going to struggle. And he's going to be sweating all day. But at the end of the day, with how we are as a football club, structure-wise, we don't have an identity as a club. And if we go to the pattern of managers that we've hired and fired, that's not a similar pattern. It's really not with the style of play. If you got, for example, when we got in Jose Mourinho, if after Jose Mourinho you went down the pattern of managers, likes of a Conte, an Ancelotti, a Simeone, if you went down a similar pattern like that, I can understand the way that you want to play. It's not necessarily about the style of play, it's about winning. It's about collective responsibility, man management. But we don't manage the exit of our players well. We never have done. Even as far back as when Sir Alex Ferguson was here, we never handled the exit of players well. If you go as to what happened with Roy Keane, to now with the situation where this club are too scared and afraid. If McTominay goes, he'll come back to bite you in the ass because he's still got legs and years left in the game. Martial right now, they'll probably love to get rid of him, but nobody's going to take him based upon what there is right now. 3 years ago, you could have got rid of Martial and you could have sent him back to France. PSG was still sniffing about, Juventus was sniffing about, but they were too shit scared that that football club, which might be run a lot better than we are, will get the better out of that player and develop him to be a world beater. That's the problem with us. We don't necessarily are fit for purpose. Go on, Abdullah, anyway.
Fair enough. King, round us up with United because I want us to go to other topic too. But your quick take, King Black, United and Ten Hag. King Black.
Can you hear me?
Test microphone. Your quick take on United and Ten Hag.
Big up, everyone. Yeah, brother. I think the biggest problem with United right now is the fan base. First of all, they complained that Ole was a yes guy. They said he was he had his favorite. He liked Marcus Rashford. He has no tactics. No matter what Ole did, they just never appreciated Ole. And Ole had who were the midfielders? Like
I think if I'm not mistaken, under Ole they were playing more pragmatic. So Bruno was there. There were like Labiutu was under Ole too. There's Fred, there's McTominay too there. So they have other players.
And they never excused Ole for having those big egos. It was all because he's not big enough to manage Manchester United. And at the same time, they also Mourinho were throwing players. They were putting pressure on players. Like they said, Mourinho was was putting players under the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one? What exactly? Manchester United. Which one? Which one is it? Like, I'm gonna ask the fans. Like, what exactly do they want? Like, do you want like a Pep Guardiola is gonna come to the team? Is gonna throw like is gonna say, okay, I don't want all of these players. I want all of these players. And are you in the position to make that demands, knowing that you have owners, they have limited money, they have not rebuilt your stadium? What exactly do you think the club right now, Manchester United, are capable of doing? Like your owners, what can you do? For me personally, I would say Ten Hag is doing a fantastic job. He's doing what he is meant to do. What any top manager is going to do is exactly what only this guy is doing.
Ten Hag.
That's what Ten Hag is doing. If he leaves Manchester United today, I believe he's going to get a bigger job. He's doing a good job, in my opinion. As a Chelsea fan, I'm just seeing what he's doing, what he's facing right now. I don't think he's been partial. I mean, he's just one of these Ronaldo fanboys. There's the Sancho fanboys. There's the Martial fanboys.
There's Marcus Rashford fanboys.
There's the Rashford fanboys. So that's why I started with it's the fan base first. Like they probably need to either understand where they are right now with the fact that their owners could not even afford to buy a midfielder. And in Amrabat, knowing that they needed a rebuild, knowing that Fred was sold, along with some other players, they couldn't afford Amrabat. They couldn't afford to buy a winger, someone else. Like there's been no direct. Even if there was a sporting director, the sporting director still needs money. It still needs the backing of the owners to go into the market and buy 5-6 players. I mean, top players, and they have to work. Those players has to fit into Manchester United. So it's a difficult place. It's a difficult job right now to handle. And I think he's doing. If all he has to do is abolish this Ajax, which I think that's what he's doing. I think he's just saying, "Fuck my Ajax, whatever." It doesn't matter if I'm not getting results. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I know how to play this way or I don't know how to play that way. This is not a small club. This is not Ajax.
But
Manchester United.
Because let me put in the spot here with Ten Hag, because you said something very interesting, which kind of I pick for me. But again, I'm looking at the United squad, and I'm like, I see no identity or no structural play in the way they want to play football. Because yes, in as much as Ten Hag has done a lot in terms of the way the position they are in the table and the way they want to play, as a fan base, you want to see like, what is the start of play of this team? What is going on here? Because yes, last season they finished third, they won the Carabao Cup, then they finished the championship. This season, the expectation is we don't have to go far from where we are last season in terms of progressing. That's what the fan base are demanding for. But if the progression is not going on, they have to question the manager and have to have a conversation about what's going on here, because we are not progressing like we should be. Because last season we progressed very well, unexpected progression, which we appreciate. Now,
and the thing is, Abdullah, if you're trying to bring your style of play, and it's costing you games, what are you going? And it's costing you games. The players who are meant to do it, some of them are getting injured because it starts from the back, right? When Lisandro was playing, they were far more defensively solid.
Yeah.
When Casemiro, I don't know what happened to Casemiro. When he was playing, and all of them, when the whole team was together, when all of the players he bought came in fresh, they were playing better. They were building up from the back, either counter attack, counter pressing, whatever. I don't know what I can't tell exactly what the style of play is, but I can see what he's trying to do anyway. He wants players that can play in different positions. He wants defenders that can actually, he wants midfielders that could actually talking to the defense and pick up the ball. He wants something that fluid. But are you going to do that with Bruno?
Lord,
Bruno is the guy that wants to do
in as much
two
as I rate
touch.
him very highly.
No, I love Bruno, but what you have in Bruno is efficiency going forward. You know, it's a quality number. You know what you can get from him. You're going to get crossing. You're going to get good. You know, he has created the most chances since 2017.
187.
More than anybody.
Yeah,
in the
187.
Premier League. So if you cannot have that and just say, okay, he's been playing bad, you're going to bench him for
that
who?
guy deserves a big trophy. He deserves it.
You know, bench him for who? Like, I'm crying for a Bruno Fernandes in Chelsea team. Like, so if Lisandro is injured, you don't have a left-sided centre back, and you're gonna have to play with Maguire. If Maguire has been playing so poorly for a few years, but you still have to play him anyway
And
because
he's having a Ramontada right now.
And the next thing to Maguire is who?
Lindelof.
And your club had to go and bring a 35-year-old, 86. That's not a hard sport. How many players has he got? Okay, he spent 400 million, and what? And so what? That's Manchester United. You're gonna have to spend 500 million more. If you get a new coach, you're still gonna have to spend 500 million more to get a quality team that could challenge for titles. You're still gonna have to do it. Like, I mean, that's the reality of it. But it looks like, you know, as someone who is not a fan, it's easier to see. But for someone who is emotionally invested, like a Manchester United fan, it's difficult. You're not gonna see it that way. You just want the result. Do you want the result or you want the style of play?
Fair enough. Like the video, subscribe, guys. Let me quickly get a shot before we move on. I'd like pull up I've did it already. Like the video, everybody. Like the video. Let's start from Arsenal, Man United. Get the guts out of the way. Sure, I will. Aston Villa will finish. So relax, we'll get there. Arsenal will blow it. Chelsea, Man United should go to general transfer market for a top coach ASAP. We'll see. We'll get to Chelsea. Oh Lord have mercy. Then Hagg talent ID. It's a questionable talent ID though. Very questionable. Poch is not a good fit for process. We shall get there. The top club like Chelsea, Man United, Madrid need coach with a certain type of mentality to survive. Look at Potter, Lampard. Lord have mercy. Liverpool has only lost one EPL games in the last 27, and that was like Tottenham game where the robbery happened. Robbery? I won't call that robbery, but it's okay. Look at Sarri, Conte, Jose, Tuchel. They were successful at Chelsea because of their mentality. Not a good fit with the Ten Hag or Poch. Interesting topic. Comment, sorry. Man United is 6, but have -3 goal difference. That's insane. Yeah. Man United has 9 wins, 7 losses, and no draws. Yeah, I told you already, no draw. They are one of the most weirdest team I've ever seen in my entire life in 2023. No draws. Either they win big and they lose big. Lord have mercy. Have mercy on us. How do you have 0 draw? Do you know how hard that is? Man, I don't know, man. Then Hagg, Guild Van El debate many overrated coaches. I wouldn't go there. We'll see. Man United need a manager with established philosophy. It doesn't matter who you bring into the midfield. Yeah. Kind of agree with that. Look how quick Sabi is being successful. His established philosophy, not freestyling or learning on the job. Sabi Alonso, okay. Man United play Bayern next, then Liverpool. Man United has to qualify for round of 16 if they'll be mentally drained by the Liverpool game. Oh, Lord have mercy. And remember, Bayern lost 5-1. Bayern will come with angriness to Old Trafford. Nana having 18 on his own people. Nana, mute or Mike. Don't respond. The Luton coach might have saved his job, to be fair. Copa, Steve Copa is just crap. I mean, let's see the table. Oh, I don't want to bring the table out, please. I do not want to do that. Chineke, I don't want to do that.
Can we even see Chelsea when
Lord
you first opened the table?
No, I didn't hear that. I did not hear that. I guess the Aston Villa versus Arsenal game after this United talk. Okay, I'll quickly touch on it. No worry, I'll touch on it. Man United, Man U won with Mourinho. They won. I think they won the Carabao Cup and the Europa League with Mourinho, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they did.
Carabao,
Yeah.
Carabao Cup,
So why
Europa
is
League,
it
and
that
then
Everton,
two
Villa are not
Shields.
spending big, but the players are raising their level? It's all about mentality. It's mentality. Poch is not a good fit for Chelsea farm, but maybe a good fit for the owner. Ogun will punish them. Excuse me? We'll get there. Newcastle, even sports have an identity. United, Chelsea are just freestyling. Aye, aye. What's the big news, Steven? What's the big news? It better be what I'm expecting because I expect my result has been not since last week. Steve, what's the latest? We're waiting. You were saying the morning. Okay, oh, no time for games. Speed the bosses, man. We are waiting. Speed. You better talk your talk, Steven. Tell them to travel to your place and come and have that big conversation. Steve, you got your brain rushing. Need the answer. Where is Kim Black talking about? Kim Black, don't worry. Kim Black just finished working. Leave my guy. Kim Black is low key trolling United fans. Cha. He's just saying his own opinion. Kim Black, are you sure you watch United games except versus Chelsea?
Can I resort to SSV? SSV. SSV. Like, guys, like, well, I'm saying things differently now. Do you want me to just troll, to just banter for banter's sake? Like, I'm just, from a fan's perspective, if I was a Man United fan, I would only be angry about the results. If Ten Hag keeps getting results and, even though he's not playing his style of play, people wouldn't care. Nobody would care about the style of play. And, as a matter of fact, the first season he came, he won a trophy for a team that has been in the dust, and then nobody was complaining about style of play. So why are we complaining about style of play now? It's just because the attackers have refused to score, and Garnacho all of a sudden is one of the key members of the team. So what do you want him to do? If he had Kivicha on the bench, Kivicha will be coming in. I don't think Garnacho will be playing so much game. So he has to do with what he has on the table, and that's what he's doing anyway.
Before we talk on them, because we have I think two topics before we talk about the big one. SSB, I'm gonna just quick talk now, and I'm gonna have the panel a little bit with it. Nana, I'm gonna come to you on this. Nana, I said it last season, last year, when it comes to Arsenal Football Club in terms of their tactical credentials. I had that conversation with Blue Eyes. We almost had a fight in regards to the conversation we had, and I said this: Arsenal have a very good squad, but my own big red flag is Mikel Arteta, because I don't think he has the know-how of understanding how to win the league or even win a UCL, because I don't think he has that know-how. If you're competing with a manager like Klopp and Pep Guardiola, you must have the ability to have the know-how to win. Yes, it's an assistant to Pep when they won the Premier League, but has he been there to kind of beat that manager that galvanized team overboard? I don't think he's that guy that winning. So with regards to the Aston Villa match, I watched the match and people might talking about controversy, Ambo and Ambo. See, we know what is going on with the VR in terms of the English Premier League. I'm not surprised when the teacher doesn't go your way. Move. It doesn't surprise me because this is not the first time it's happening in the EPL. And it will not be the last. So if things doesn't go your way, you can just moan, cry, do whatever you want to do. You can just move on. Because if you shout as a manager, you get suspended. If you talk as a player, you get suspended. What do you want to do? That's PGMOL for you. And our web. You can't do anything because you have to understand something in terms of referees. There is politics in referees. You have to understand that too. You have to know that. So EPL referee cannot be, it's bad, we know, they're terrible, we know, but you can't compare the EPL referee with La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, and Champions League. They're different referee because those people understand the law of the game very well before they officiate. And the English Premier League also understand the law of the game, but sometimes I don't know if they go to primary school or elementary school. They just want to do things their own way, giving us English subjective decision, objective decision. Must he have to be subjective decision? So this kind of stuff, like, sometimes it's annoying, but again, it is what it is. But Arsenal fans, you can't negate Odegaard missing chances, Bukayo Saka missing chances, Martinelli missing chances, Gabriel Jesus missing his firing boot. That is not on Arteta. That's not on VR. That's on the players, because you had your chances. Football is all about taking your chances, and if you do take a chance, you're gonna get punished. You will get punished. You have to take your chances, and they do not take a chance. And Aston Villa took. And fair enough, they are third in the Premier League table. Shout out to the Gode Blaine, Una Emery. Gode Blaine, shout out to him. He's done very well. He's done very, very well. You're gonna give him kudos. For Arsenal fans who doesn't like him, that is karma waiting for you, because you watch advertising because it's not a good manager. You don't want him because of you don't know his style of play. But here comes Good Evening, who is third in the Premier League table. He's done very well, and I keep telling people doesn't rate Unai Emery as much as you can rate him. This guy knows how to win. So shout out to Unai Emery. He's done very well. Third in the Premier League table, 35 points, 15 goal difference. Shout out to him. 1 point up and behind Arsenal, 2 points behind behind Liverpool. Shout out to him. So this season is even more tighter, unlike last season where City just blew out the people in the league. But this season is gonna be more tighter though. We're gonna see how many points that can be accumulated when we come to May. But it's kind of shaping up to be one of the most entertaining Premier League season ever. It might be that.
Abdullahi, all banter aside, where actually are you in the table?
Relax. I know where.
No, I'm not. I'm no banter aside. Oh, you're right. You're sure. No, I didn't know where. I actually didn't know where you.
Can't you see Abdullahi? He's hiding from talking about Chelsea. Look, we're going to Arsenal.
We'll get there. We'll talk. I already said we'll talk about Chelsea. Don't worry, relax. We'll talk about it. So, Nana, your quick take on the Arsenal talk. Just quick take. Do you still put them ahead of favourite to win the league, or you're gonna put Liverpool, or you still think City will win it?
That the state of that table is a sad shame. It's a sad shame.
What's the sad? Why?
Yo, I'm not even. Fulham FC. Anyways, yo, look, I only watched the first half because I was busy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But Villa obviously got off the blocks well, got their goal. What goal? But I was told by several people that I believe have good footballing takes and opinions that Arsenal, after that goal, Arsenal were the better side, unfortunately.
Villa dropped off in the second half. They didn't finish their dinner, and that's what happens.
I've never thought Arsenal were the favourites. That's not me to say that they can't challenge. They can definitely challenge. If it goes their way, they could win it 100%. I'm not gonna say that, but I've never thought they were favourites. Purely just because City have just treated this league like a fleshlight, right? But yo, it happens. Sometimes you just can't convert chances. With Odegaard, missed a few. VAR did Arsenal dirty. We don't mind that. But
they're doing everybody dirty in the Premier League, not only them. So,
but it's a case of the attackers didn't convert. It happens.
Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, it happens. I wouldn't say it's a big deal.
I also think people might call me crazy. I already said it to Arsenal fans. I don't think David Raya is that guy that can win them the league. I will keep saying it again. I do not think he's the guy that can win them the league because, as much as Ramsey might be trash in their own face, Raya is not even an upgrade to Ramsdale for me because he keep making some weird ass bozo mistake, and I'm like, Ateta keeps saying, "Don't worry, it's part of my plan. I brought him to the club." But if Ramsdale make mistake, you want to kill him in the match, but you don't want to kill Raya. Okay, no problem. Go ahead, keep talking.
So yeah, I mean, there's not much into it. Arsenal probably, if you look at the chances of the game, Arsenal probably should have won. They didn't convert their chances, but I would say that's just attackers having a poor day. Fundamentally, they'll be there in around their mix, and we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned personally if I was an Arsenal fan. I wouldn't be too concerned. It was just a bad day at the office. Yeah,
they travel to Anfield after Brighton, so we'll see how they feel.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I think they, like you said, I don't think they're title challengers, man. I think they're probably still missing a few players. I think definitely the goalkeeper. What you said about the goalkeeper is 100%. They
I'm
need
not
a
convinced
goalkeeper.
yet. I'm not
Yeah,
convinced.
they need a goalkeeper, man. I think that Raya and Ramsdale will only be proven. He can prove me wrong, Raya,
Mhm.
if by the end of the season they lift in the Premier League title. I
But,
think that's
but,
the
but
only.
please, the problem is every match is Raya make mistake. Every
Mhm.
match.
Yeah.
He make mistake. I'm like, Atata, you not seeing what we are seeing. Maybe I'm seeing is something different though.
Nah.
See, and this mistake might cost him against Liverpool. I keep telling people, Liverpool are clinical. That very clinical team. If you make one mistake, you're gonna get killed. You will
Yeah.
get destroyed. Liverpool are clinical. You make that mistake against Salah, game over. You make that mistake against Diego Jota, bye bye. They are clinical.
Mhm.
They can score goals.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because I think they're missing a few players. But like I said, that goalkeeper one, it's not. It seems a bit of an odd decision now, man. When you think of it, like Raya, I don't know, man. I think he's put a lot of pressure on himself. Unless you're going out to get a world-class keeper, then yeah, you've really created a situation for yourself. But yeah, no, I think I'm a bit with Venke. I think look, maybe the result is probably caused a bit of panic, maybe among the Arsenal fan base. But I think look, they're still in the title race. They're still there. There's a lot of football to be played. They have to just not make the same mistake as last year. Speak and try and be as consistent as possible. They're gonna lose games. Villa are a good side. I think I spoke about this when we even lost to Villa, and obviously we're going to talk about Chelsea, so I'll add some points there. But yeah, I think Arsenal they're not, like you said, they're not title favorites for me. I still would probably say City or Liverpool before I would go Arsenal. I'd probably still put those two there. So they don't need to panic. They just need to finish strong. I think now they need to prove that they can finish strong, because starting now and winning and jumping on the pitch at Luton, I mean, look, calm down, man. I mean, City wouldn't do that. Liverpool wouldn't do that, man. Substitutes running off the bench. I'm not sure how I feel about that, man. I feel like that mentality worries me about us. It doesn't worry me because I don't want them to win, but that's a bit strange when they got players running from the bench and run into the crowd at Luton.
But the problem with Arsenal fans is when they lose matches, they blame VAR. But they don't blame other guys missing chances. Gabriel is missing chance, but they blame VAR. I'm like, why are you gonna blame VAR when you have your chances to score goals, but you didn't
I don't
score?
think I don't know if I've ever come on here and spoke about a referee decision or VAR. I play football. Like,
but when Arsenal
football,
loses matches, that's the first blame.
Yeah.
When they lose
No,
to
we know
Liverpool,
it's like everyone acts like VAR is like 50 years old. VAR is what, 4, 5, 6 years? I don't know, 4, 5 years. So what were people doing before VAR? People are still playing football now without VAR. So
exactly.
for me, like it was always, when you play football, some results go your way. The referee was bad today. Sometimes, so you never really, you'll hear me talking about, especially with my team, Chelsea. I'll never talk about. Look, when we were winning leagues, when we were winning Champions Leagues, yes, we had some bad decisions. We can talk about the ref, and it was always something that's a part of football. But if you're good enough, you win. Man City not waiting for the referee to make them win the game. You know, Liverpool aren't waiting for referees to you know what I mean. Arsenal,
They take their chances and they
yeah,
move on.
you take your chances, you win the game. You put it beyond doubt. If you're a good side, you're not going to talk about the referee. So I feel like VAR is a bit of an excuse for people, man. The reason why teams aren't winning games is not because of VAR, because referees were making these decisions way worse before VAR. It just feels like they're worse now because the VAR is there to help, and it seems like they're getting some wrong, even though they have VAR. But come on, man, football's been played for how many years, and we've had VAR and without VAR. So I don't really care about referees and VAR, man. They need to get over
Fair
it.
enough. Tom, your quick Arsenal Football Club and Arteta. Are you picking them as favorite, or is you gonna pick City and Liverpool?
Well, if we're basing it off a track record, you'd say City or Liverpool, because both of them have got the track record of they can go for 30, 40 games, in a season toe-to-toe, and they can make it till the final day. They've done it against each other. Arsenal last season lacked the quality and cutting edge toward the end of the season, and they bottled it. It was as simple as that. I mean, the same City team from last season to this season is different because they haven't replaced players well, but also there will be a layoff. I think people do forget these players, especially for City, have been full flow for like 5 years, winning Premier League after Premier League, FA Cup along the way, Carabao Cup for retaining it for 3-4 years in a row. Like, they've been non-stop. So there is going to be that drop-off year at some point. Liverpool, you would argue had that last season, that drop-off season, and then they've re-energized and recruited well again in the summer, and they're going to go and they're going again this season. But Arsenal, especially against teams where, like I say, it's almost a competitive factor that they're going against. They've not done well this season, I don't think anyway, against top teams. Spurs game was arguably they should have probably lost. Manchester United, they should have lost. It was a dodgy VAR decision, but we won't go on about VAR anyway. City game, they only won 1-0, barely, with the Martinelli goal. And the Villa game, yeah, listen, they were a better team probably from the second half onwards, or when Villa scored. There's no argument, about that. But there's playing well and there's getting the results. And when you're going for a title, you forget about playing well. Arsenal played brilliant football last season for up to, maybe 30 games. And then they tried to continue it on for the rest of the season. They didn't do it. Sometimes you've just got to grind out the results. City did, today, for example, I'm sure we'll get on about it. 1-0 down to Luton. Forget about playing brilliant football, possession style, blah, blah, blah. Listen, just get the win.
Mm-hmm.
That's all what it matters in some games. You just win the game. That's it. Liverpool this season have been behind so many times in
And they
games.
come back to win.
And they come back to win, yeah. Because they have that belief, they have that desire there. Arsenal, for me, they have the desire to win, but they just lack the quality. And I think the one thing that will let Arsenal down for the rest of the season will be that I don't think they've got enough goals from a centre forward. Because I think I like Jesus. Jesus as a footballer is quality.
And I also think the goalkeeper too. I don't think he's the guy.
Goalkeeper, yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah.
I'm still having it because every match I watch Arsenal play, that guy make one or two mistakes.
The thing with me is, the thing with me, the goalkeeper is, I like Ramsdale as a goalkeeper, but he does make too many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing especially last season, if they didn't have Aaron Ramsdale in net, they wouldn't have got as far as they did.
Yeah, because he saved them a lot.
He saved them so many big games last season. He saved them. I mean, the City game, they didn't win it at the Emirates, but City should have won the game 4-5-0.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept them in the game. Even if you go to, for example, Liverpool away, they were 2-0 up, cruising, and then they should have lost the game 3-2 toward the end, and that brilliant save that he made tipped it onto the bar and it went over for a corner, and the defender saw the game out to draw it. But he made too many mistakes last season, and that's probably why he brought Raya in. But for me, I don't think Raya was the right goalkeeper to have brought in anyway. Not for me. I think there's...
Because Tom, because they've been lucky this year, and I said it again.
Yeah.
They will play Liverpool on the 23rd of this month. And those chances Raya is making, if you give those chances to Liverpool, you're going to get destroyed by 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, the game is over. For me, those mistakes, 20 minutes is over.
The problem is, he's got he's got a dilemma. He's got someone like Ramsdale who, when he's got his confidence, he's a confidence player, Ramsdale. When he's got his confidence and he's got a stable back four in front of him, I think he'll do well. I honestly do. But he's not in a confident, comfortable position because the manager's gone openly out in the market and brought somebody in who is arguably, probably you could say, better than him in characteristics-wise. But the problem that you have with Ramsdale and Raya is Raya's to play out from the back. Raya's to have those angles to transition with, fast, high-flowing on the counter. Ramsdale's the opposite to that. He's the goalkeeper. He's the one that will make you spectacular saves and superstar saves. And the big susceptibility for Arsenal is, especially with Raya, anywhere outside the 18-yard box, if you've got a player that can shoot, this guy, he's absolutely flimsy with his hands. He is. You stick it on Kevin De Bruyne's foot outside the 18-yard box. It doesn't even have to be Kevin De Bruyne. James Ward-Prowse. Listen, even somebody like an Enzo, if they ping the ball at him and it's a reasonable height, It will go past them. It will. He's not a good shot stopper, David Raya. Even statistically, the games this season, I think he's played most of the games. I can't recall how many clean sheets Arsenal actually have. Defensively as a team, they are better, but individually he makes a lot of mistakes. And for me, Ramsdale last season made the mistakes, but I think he also made up for a lot of those mistakes last season. In bigger games, he come up clutch for them. Whereas Raya, he's not necessarily had that impact, and he's not had the time to have that impact. But for me, I don't necessarily think either of them are the right goalkeeper for the future. But if I'm being honest with you, I think there's two big voids in that team. That's the goalkeeper and the striker. And if they replace them properly, either in January or the summer, then we can have a conversation about Arsenal.
Because they'll go to Anfield and they're still gonna go to Etihad Stadium.
I don't see them getting 3 points from either of them. If I'm being honest, the best thing for Arsenal in those fixtures, draw, because if they got a draw from both those games, I'd like it's game on. Because if they win the reverse fixture at home, that's fine. There's 6 points there. But if you stop Liverpool and City gaining points on you, that's even better. That's sometimes better than even winning a game sometimes.
Yeah, because going to Anfield is gonna be tough because they do not have a good record in Anfield. They don't.
But Arsenal, for most of the season, though, they've not played that brilliant football that we said about last season. But they've managed to scrape results like Luton.
Yeah, but again, the problem is,
a draw.
Are you going to scrape a result against a clinical Liverpool?
They're not going to. I don't think they're going to do it against a big team. That's where I think they'll come unstuck. Listen, they should have lost to us. They should have lost to Spurs. They should have lost to quite a few teams, to be honest with you, with the way that they, started the season. But they are still there or thereabouts. And if you're going to win a title, you can't ever tell me that there's a winning Premier League team that doesn't score lots of late goals. You have to be able to score late goals or to the death to be in the chance of winning a Premier League title. Every team does it. Every team has moments. This Arsenal team, it's a talented team, but I just think it lacks two quality positions. And honestly, if they invested 120 million, I could go on. I would say you can spend 60 on maybe both. I'd get you a proven goalkeeper, Diogo Costa from Porto. Brilliant distribution, brilliant shot stopper. And if I'm being honest with you, when Alisson or Edison leaves City or Liverpool, that's the goalkeeper that they will go for, guys. That's the sort of goalkeeper that Pep or Klopp would want after the two that they have right now. But for me, in all honesty, I don't see this Arsenal team fighting for it. I think personally, you'll get to February and one of Liverpool or Arsenal will drop off. And I think it's more likely to be Arsenal, based upon that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Arteta to win something this year. And I don't necessarily think this year is the year that he can win the Premier League. I think he's got more chance of getting an FA Cup, buy yourself another season, get another chance for another round of recruitment, buy a proper number 9, buy a proper goalkeeper, and then go for it next season. That would be a resolute scenario for Arsenal. But Arsenal fans are that impatient because they've been on this journey for God knows how long. So we're going to have to see. For me, I still think City will come into it at some point. They'll click into gear. When they get KDB back and stuff, they'll click into gear.
Yeah. Oh my God! If KDB is back in January, the league is over. If KDB is back,
it depends on. I don't know as well.
And Alan is injured now. We don't know how long it's gonna be. Alan is injured.
It shouldn't be long. Apparently, we're only a fracture to his foot. But
yeah, Pep said he should not. He doesn't know the exact time, but he said it's not that long. So we don't know when. It may week, month. We don't know. But
I just see the mentality of those two managers. They'll go to the final day of the season because they've been there and done it against each other in Liverpool in Klopp and Pep.
I know.
You know, Arsenal, I just don't see that.
Arsenal will fall off for me. They will fall off.
I just do see that there is that frailty there, and I don't necessarily think it's, you know, Arteta as a manager or even some of the players. I just think it's the lack of a proven clinical goal scorer who, when the going gets tough, will get you a goal when you just need to win a game. I don't think Jesus is that sort of player that's going to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
You need an Ivan Toney, an Osimhen. You need a player who's just going to, in the deeps and darks of it, just get you a win. That's it. And in the same point with the goalkeeper, you need a goalkeeper who, when you need to see a game out and the pressure's mounting on you, when you're in the Etihad, you might be 2-1 up or whatever, with, you know, 5 minutes of stoppage time. You need a goalkeeper who's not going to crap himself when he comes under pressure with the ball. And for me, you need a goalkeeper who's going to have big moments. Raya has never had a big moment. Not really a major nostalgia.
But what is what is kind of making me laugh is when Arteta for Ramsey last year, Arteta said he almost want to go into the match and take off Ramsey because it doesn't do exactly what it's like. He almost feel like killing him into the match because of the amount of mistake he's making. Why don't you do the same thing to Raya? Because Raya is making blunders, but he keep backing Raya. Keep backing. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that?
One of them's got to go for them to progress, though. If they don't get a new goalkeeper, one of them has to go. And for me, based upon what I've seen of both of them, honestly, I would save myself the money of buying Raya, and I'd say I'd stick with Ramsdale, because if you give him confidence and you give him the time to work with it, I think he's a decent goalkeeper in his day. And mistakes can be cut out of somebody's game when they have full confidence. But the manager does not have full confidence in him, because if he did, he wouldn't have bought a new goalkeeper. That's the difference as to why. But with Raya, did he really do much at Brentford to say that he should have been given this opportunity? Not for me personally. But at the end of the day, it depends. And I don't necessarily think Raya's sitting there thinking he's comfortable, because he's only on loan. He's not a permanent solution signing. He's only on loan. So if ever Arsenal want to, they can just turn it back. But for me, I can see Arsenal falling off by February. But I still think City will come into it at some point.
Yeah,
they'll click into gear like they always do, and I think they'll just take the league by 7, 8, 9 points.
We know that, Tom, this is not the first time. We know that with Man City. First half of the season, they play rubbish. Second half of the season, the league is over.
Yeah.
League is over. We know that for them. We know that. That one doesn't surprise me when it comes to City. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't.
There's not necessarily that same motive with City this season, because anything that they do less, but if they just win one of the Premier League or the Champions League, they'll see that as a success.
Yes,
because you can't necessarily emulate what you did last season.
No.
A treble is once in a generation that you'll ever see that happen.
No.
Manchester United did it, 20 years ago nearly. Manchester City, it's taken us nearly a decade and a half, 2 decades to see that again. That's how rare something like that is. So if you're going to go with a motivation for City, it'll just be, let's do 4 in a row. It's never been done before.
Let's break the record. Let's create a record. And if we win 4 in a row.
Anyway, I'd like, forget this BS nostalgia about Arsenal. Let's talk Chelsea, mate.
Let's relax.
No. Let's cook. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I will go to cruise on this, but let me just kind of add my own talk on it first. As much, because the way I was the preseason match, the way we play football and everything, I was impressed. I'm like, okay, I have more optimism when the season starts, and I expect more from the team in terms of going forward. Yeah, the injury comes in, I understand players can get injured, but even as much as the players get injured, I still expect more from the manager, because I expect him to kind of improve the player he has, make them much better, and
work what he got.
Yes, work what he got to the player come back. And ever since the beginning of the match till now, we have been below par. And for me, enough is enough. Mauricio Pochettino cannot tell me because of Christopher Lukunku you cannot play football. That's BS. That's a BS. Because of Romeo Lavia, you can't play football. That's a BS. Every players in that team have looked below par. They have been worse. Enzo Fernandez look worse. Caicedo look worse. Modric look worse. Sterling worse. Cole Palmer, the only creativity in our team, look worse. Why are they looking worse? That's on the manager. That's not on the players. That's on the manager because you are not putting them in a situation or a condition where they have to play, they have to perform in a very good way. You can't have the player you have in Chelsea and the player keep getting work season week after week. You have to go out the manager. And they keep telling me it's a project. We have to do a project. I have to go into the January transfer. Mr. Man, you can't go into January transfer if you cannot work with what you have. If I'm the board, I'm not gonna give him any money. I'm gonna tell him work with what you have. Work with what you have. I'm not paying you any money because you cannot be using injuries as an excuse and transfers. See, money cannot buy everything. What, as a manager, I expect you to coach the team and make them much better. Tom, we are 12th in the table. 12th in the table. Yes, I know we've been going through process. And how long are we going to be going through process where there's not even identity in this club? So when the families are saying Poch out, are they crazy? No. I already said it to Nana. The board will not sack Poch, but the fan base will sack him. The reason I said the fan base will sack him is because when the pressure keep mounting, it falls down to Todd Bowley. He has to make the decision. When now the problem now is gonna be fans refusing to go to matches. Now they started losing money. They prefer to sit down in their own house, watch their match and enjoy themselves. When you're traveling to an away game, when you can't even find the fan base there, then what does that tell you? When the ticket is like maybe the home team is giving like 5,000 tickets and you can only see 500, only 500 away fans there or 200 away fans. What does that tell you? They are fed up of the team. They are fed up. And when the atmosphere in the on the home games is not good, there's been a lot of booze and a lot of stuff. With the man, it happens to Potter. It happens to Lampard. Not as much as he's a legend of the club. It happens to him. When there's too much booze in the club, how do you want to be successful? And Pochettino is creating that with the players. I don't think the players are poor. Someone like Bruno Van Enzo Kai said, I don't think they're ridiculously terrible. I don't think so. But I think the mismanagement of Pochettino is making this player look very worse. He hasn't learned. You cannot be a 51 years old manager where you can't even learn. Like, I was already do something a lot. Body of work. What body of work as Poch as maybe Tottenham Hotspur coaching Tottenham Hotspur? Maybe that was an anomaly because of the player he has. Okay, you go to Paris Saint-Germain, you won the league there. Excuse me. Every manager can go to PSG and win league. Tuchel win league. Laurent Blanc won there. Ancelotti won there. I can keep mentioning managers that has won the French League on. So many of them has won it. Do they last there? No, they didn't last there. So I'm expecting him, since he take a sabbatical from PSG, I expect him to come back to the Premier League and at least learn something. At least learn something when you come back. You come in here to like just behaving stupid, and I'm like, "Man, what the heck is going on with Poch? His man management is poor. His decision making with the players is poor." I'm like, is this player not training on the training pitch? When we look at the videos of the training, we see them shooting, making drills, passing 1-2s. When they get into the pitch, they can't even shoot for the love of God. In that Chelsea midfield, no one can shoot from midfield and say, okay, this shot is on target. No one. And I'm asking myself, what exactly are they doing in the training pitch? What are they doing there? I can't explain what they are doing in the training pitch because it does not show on the page. It doesn't show on the page. So when people come out Poch and saying they want him out, are they crazy to say that? No, we're not crazy. Because enough is enough. 16 matches, 19 points. What the heck? Excuse me? We've lost, I think, six or 7 losses already. After many matches. 39 games, 39 points. Does that really make any sense? And they're trying to how can we trust process when we have a manager who doesn't even understand the definition of winning? How? The definition of winning is not there. You talk to the players, you want them to improve in the pitch. But I'm confused because you can have a crisis talk with the players, shout, talk, get pissed off, get angry with the players, fair enough. But are they really performing on the pitch to compensate the way you're angry? No, for me. No. So that's why it's a little bit weird because not just that I want him out. I also want an improvement for the team, but I already know what the board is gonna do. And they're gonna sack him. It's not going anywhere. The only thing that will sack Poch is the fan base. And I'll say it again. Our next 3 matches is Sheffield United, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Crystal Palace. If he loses 2 out of those 3 matches for me, he's a goner. He's a dead man walking. He's gone. He's gone. Right now, the pressure on him, oh my days. If he loses to Sheffield United on Saturday this week, Lord have mercy with Pochettino and his family. Lord have mercy. It won't go well for him. If he loses to Sheffield United, it will not go well. Because this season can still be salvaged. If Chelsea wins the Carabao Cup, we go automatically to the Conference League. If we win the FA Cup, we go to the Europa League. So there is still hope for us. But please, can we just move up to the table a little bit? Because it's annoying. Out of 38 matches, we've lost almost close to quarter of the matches. And what next do I want to win? What next? Coach, your take on Poch.
Yo, obviously we didn't speak after the United game.
Yeah, I wanted to do a show, but my head was a little bit hot. Then I had a cold, so I have to take a isolation. I had to take isolation inside.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No. Just saying because this is back-to-back defeats now, and I think
this is the first time it's happening since 1995. Yes. Back-to-back defeat is the first time it's happening since 1995. I believe. I'm going to start. I believe.
The problem is, Abdullah. The problem is, look, I've saying it for months and months and months, year or so, 18 months since these owners have been there. I feel like Pochettino right now, yes, he's making some serious errors. Serious errors with the squad, with his management style, some of his formation, some of the tactics are very, very questionable. But for me, this whole problem that we're going through, it's not just players and systems and managers. It's it starts from the beginning. It starts from the beginning of the season. It starts from the club model where we're spending money that we should be investing into the first team playing squad. We're investing into buying youth players. We're not investing. How can we spend all this money? We don't have a striker. How can we spend all this money? We have a subpar goalkeeper. How can we spend all this money and we have a midfield that was not created due to football planning? They didn't plan for that midfield. That midfield of Conor Gallagher, Enzo, and Caicedo. No one can tell me that Chelsea planned to have that midfield. Enzo, what type of midfielder is he? We still don't know. You can't say anything about this guy because people just get absolutely defensive. It's reminding me of Kai Havertz. You can't say nothing until everyone is going to realize in 12 months time, 8 to 12 months. I'll give it 6 months, and they'll clock. This guy is not. I don't personally think he's not the right player for that midfield. The balance in the midfield is wrong, flat out. Today he played Gallagher in the. He played Gallagher. Where did he play Gallagher in the hole? Right, he played Gallagher in the 6 and played Enzo further up. Why? I said it a few streams ago. Enzo cannot get around the pitch. He does not trust him defensively.
But they play much better today, though. Play much better today.
Yeah, but he doesn't trust him. He doesn't trust him, Abdullah. But he doesn't that midfield balance is off straight away. If we're just going to talk tactics, we're going to talk about the match. The team cohesion is off. We've got players who are not good enough. This is the simple fact. Let me just break it down as simple as possible. Chelsea fans need to really understand that our first team 11 and 16 and the bench players are not good enough to compete at the highest level. The teams that are above us, if you go man for man, it's arguable that they're better than us. If you look at their structures and the managers, it's arguable that they're better than us. Let's be honest. You look at Villa, Emery. I was talking about Emery 12, 18, 24 months ago. We should have got Emery. Emery's a top manager. You look at the players, Moussa Diaby, Ollie Watkins, John McGinn. they're better than our players. I'm sorry. Whether Mudryk is gonna be good in 5 years, Enzo's gonna be good in a year or two, Caicedo's gonna be good in a year, maybe. But ultimately, our team is not playing at a level that has any maturity. They're not playing at a level where they have any class that they've built over years because they're not old enough. And the teams we're playing against are fighting harder than us. They're set up better than us. Their structures are better than us. So I just don't see where we're gonna get these wins. I mean, Sheffield have got Chris Wilder now. I mean, Chris Wilder they won their last game, right?
Yeah, they won
Chris
0.
Wilder, Chris Wilder's back at Sheffield.
Will I be surprised if we lose the match? I will not be surprised.
100%. I won't be surprised. I'm just telling you. If you
and
look
after Sheffield United, we play the Carabao Cup in the Newcastle. Then we play Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Before the United game, we had the stream, and I said, "Yo, you look at this team. How are we gonna beat Man United?" And we were predicting like 3-0s, and I had 3-0, I had 2-0, I said, why? Where? What players? Who's gonna beat Man United 3-0? Chelsea? Impossible. Look at our record against the top 8 teams this season. Take out Spurs. People praised Liverpool, the Liverpool game, and I said, yo, we should have won that game. I was disappointed from that first game of the season. You look at the game against Arsenal, we should have won that game. You look at the game against Man City, we should have won that game. You look at the game against Tottenham, they had 9 men. We struggled to even score when it was 1-1 when they had 9 men. 10 men and 9 men, we struggled. You look at the game against Brentford, we lost 2-0 to Brentford. You look at the game against Villa, we lost 1-0 to Villa. You look at the game against Newcastle, battered by Newcastle. We have been absolutely rolled over by the top teams in this league. Now, why I say yes, Pochettino is to blame, and but why I don't give him all the blame is because you need to look at the squad planning. If you look at that squad, as Pochettino, he's only dealing with the cards that he's given. I do not think he's been given a team that is good enough to compete at the highest level in the Premier League. It's a fact. Just don't take my word for it. Look at the team. Just because the name is Chelsea doesn't mean that we have some God-given right. These players are not good enough. Mudryk has had how many minutes in his pro career? Now we're telling him to come to Chelsea and perform at the highest level. Cole Palmer, how many minutes in a pro career? We're asking him to perform for Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson 3-4 years ago wasn't even playing professional football. I think he was a youth player back home. So I don't even understand. We've got a squad assembled of currently average players who maybe have some ceiling to be good in 3-4 years time, but it's not good enough. The players I'm sorry, they're not good enough, and there's no God-given right that they're gonna be good in a few years. There's no one that says, oh well, just give it some time and this guy will be good in a few years. Okay, even Abdullah, say for example they are going to be good in a few years. Where's Musa Diaby going? Where's Saka going? Where's Haaland going? It doesn't mean because our players are ready to be good in a year or two that everyone else's players are going to be rubbish. You know, it just means that they're going to be good in a few years, but maybe they want to leave in a few years. It doesn't mean that because that you can't wait. Don't worry, Levi Cole will get it right in a few years. What do you mean? We're playing now and we're slipping down the table. How much experience are these guys getting at the highest level that's going to better them when losing becomes normal? Losers are losers, man. You don't want too many losers in your team, you know? Understanding what it feels like to lose. This is not habits that you want from players that are young. They understand what it is to lose. We want them to have winning habits. Right now, Arsenal players, they're young, they know how to win. They're grinding out results. Okay, they don't win every game, but when they're going to Luton, they're pulling it back. Last season, they had Bournemouth. They had a few games where they were struggling, and they come back and they get the last goal. They grind it out. Elliott against Crystal Palace the other day for Liverpool, grinding out results. Young players putting in performances, grinding out results. You have to be able to get experience at winning. Winning is a good habit. Losing is not a good habit. So, yeah, there's too many issues at the club. Pochettino is not getting it right, but I've always said that I'm gonna stay consistent on my point. I know it's a boring point, but I said it from the beginning of the season. I said it from when these owners came in. They've got it horribly wrong. They haven't planned for this to be good. There was a point in this summer where we were saying we've got too many players that we can't even loan out. So how have you planned the squad? They said that you only a certain amount of foreign loans that you're allowed. So he kept David Washington. Do you understand? You know how you got David Washington in the team, but you don't even want to use him. So come on, man, it's just pathetic. Honestly, it's pathetic, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pathetic with the way we planned the squad and what Pochettino has had to deal with. But he's not helped himself with his squad selections. I think he keeps going and battering certain type of things. At the beginning of the season, it was Chilwell left wing. Now it's Colwell. That Colwell to me, it's got a long way to go, man. Colwell's got a long way to go. Disasi got a long way to go. The goalkeeper, wow, he's got a long way to go. But there's too many questions. There's too many questions, man. I just want to hear what everyone else got to say. But yeah, that's my take on it, man. That's my take on it. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Cruz. Okay.
I think Abdullah's gone. Yeah.
How do I hear that, mate? Or...
He's probably just gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
What do you think, man? What do you think?
I mean, the fact is that when you open up the Premier League table and you can't even see where Chelsea are,
It says it all.
It says it all. Yeah, it does. It really does. I mean, to be fair to Pochettino, a lot of these players have been just mishmash of Tuchel, Potter. Now you can go towards some of them are Pochettino's players.
Yeah.
But there is not that we were discussing before. There's not the identity behind what you're trying to do long term. The problem with Pochettino is he's got so many young players, and that's what he's worked with before and he's had good success with. But he doesn't have leaders. He doesn't have characters. Like, I can only really say one player out of that whole Chelsea team who arguably has leadership, and that's Thiago Silva. The rest of it, they've never done anything. Not season in, season out. There's always been that drop off or lack of quality or consistency.
But Tom, my question is, out of those players, which of them is really improving? None. Because my question, what are they doing in training? Because what they're doing in training doesn't transpire to what they're doing on the pitch. It does confuse me.
But you know what the question is though? The question is, Abdullah, are the players that good as we think they are?
Okay. Wait. This is where we have to have a reality talk now. Yeah, the players might not as be good as we think they are. But your job as a manager,
they are.
Coach them and make them better. You cannot be relying. See, Poch has been making this from the beginning of the season. He has been saying it. Christopher Lukunku. I'm like, without Lukunku, can't we play football?
Forget about it.
No, but Abdullah, you know why he says his name? Because he's the only player right now that we bought that is actually a first team guy that he can make an impact. The rest of these guys, most of the guys that we're buying, is young players. So it's Wait. There's gonna be inconsistencies. That's why you're gonna have performance like Arsenal or performance like Man City, and the next week you're gonna have performance like today or like last week. But
what is the assurance that Christopher Lukunku comes in, he balls out?
No. The thing with guys like that is that at least they have experience. Is experience. So we know that when you get a player like that, there's a certain level of consistency that you expect from guys like that. There's certain stuff that I can expect from Nkunku. I can't have these expectations for a guy like a Jackson or a guy like a Palmer or a guy like these young players because I haven't seen. We haven't seen them.
No,
people were hyping up Jackson off of 6 months at Villarreal. Like guys were hyping Palmer. I think he barely played at Man City.
They got Palmer by accident. They got Palmer by accident. They didn't even want.
It's accident.
What you mean?
What do you mean? They wanted Elise. They wanted Emil Smith Rowe. They wanted Elise. They didn't want Palmer. Palmer was
they stumbled on him. They stumbled on him. But For example, like I laugh at him a lot, like
For
Madueke.
me,
Like,
people knows me very well. For me,
Oh, here we go.
see,
no,
this is
no,
what I
no,
want
no.
to do. This is it.
Like, no, I'm not gonna laugh at you. See Madueke, for example. I laugh at him a lot, but I'm sure there's a talented player there. But the guy has barely played. So the guy has barely had opportunity. Do you know how many right wingers we have right now at this club? You're stockpiling
Yeah.
these young players. You have
The
a
problem-
Sterling. You have
Yeah.
Palmer at the club. You have Madueke. You send Angelo on loan, and then now you're trying to buy. There's Hutchinson as well that's on loan, and then you're trying to buy some unknown Brazilian called Estevao. The guy's another winger. You just Piers as well. You just stockpiling guys. Stockpiling
Yeah.
But
for no reason.
this is the problem now. This is okay. I can understand the direction where the ownership are going, but you can't have it as a manager, as a coach. Your job is to coach the player and get them improve. But what is annoying me with Poch is failing to take responsibility as a manager. That is what is annoying me. I know we're gonna have any consistency. I know that because we have a young squad, but this is my greatest fear now. Is putting this pressure on Christopher Lukunku, who I believe has been fit since Newcastle. For me, he has been fit since Newcastle, but Poch is saying he's not ready yet. I don't want to risk him. We don't want him to get injured. We want to play, we want him to get ready. We want him to like be involved with the team. And okay, someone like Nkunku, if you want him to be involved with the team, you play him 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go. Play him in some of those matches. Let him get the rhythm of the game. You can't just bring players and say, okay, boom, I put him on the score today, and boom, now does that he get look at James. James come from injury and he go back to injury again. Look at him. So I'm like, you are putting all your hope on Christopher Lukunku. I know he's a quality player. I'm not doubting that. But Poch needs to man up. That's a stupid excuse to
He's
make.
He's not gonna do it
manager.
all by himself, Abdullahi. One player will not change this scenario. It's
Exactly.
not gonna happen.
No, they won't. They won't.
The problem you have is with Pochettino, he's got so much raw talent. Talent can only get you so far. You need to have characters and experience there.
No character
And like
in
I
that
said
team at
before,
all.
there's only one player who reasonably has that experience. That's Thiago Silva. And if we're being honest, he's probably on his way out at the end of the season anyway.
He's
with the age that
fugazi,
he's
man.
at.
He's a fugazi. He's a fugazi.
It's going to the point now where you don't necessarily have the experience within the team. Like before, you had quality, but you also had the experience. Players like Rudiger had been and won trophies at your football club. Aspilicueta, all these sort of players who are characters and leadership players, they've gone. They're no longer at your football club now. You've lost that experience. So you're relying now on young talent to come through and almost lead by example to each other. It's not going to happen in the same way you bring Nkunku in. And Nkunku's not going to change your dynamic as a whole team. It's not. Defensively, you are absolutely dross. Set pieces, you struggle to man-mark players in games. Even the Everton game, the way Everton played today, and they have done the last couple of weeks, it's been the same setup. Yeah. Physically impose yourself on the opposition, bully you. That's what we did in midweek to you guys.
We wanted better
but the big thing for me, I'll make this last point. The big thing for me, the difference from what happened with the Chelsea, with Manchester United game and the Everton game, the similarities between the two is both of those teams wanted it more than your players did. That's the difference. Forget talent, forget tactics. Both of those teams wanted it more than you. Everton wanted those 3 points more than you guys did. You could have sat there. You could still be playing right now, and you still wouldn't have scored.
I know.
That's how dross that game was for you guys. You could still play now, and you wouldn't have scored. The Manchester United game, physically imposing on you, play, and the problem with you guys, like you're saying with Pochettino, he doesn't accept responsibility and there's no collectability. That's fine. But when he comes out with ridiculous statements saying the players gave it their all, they didn't give their all. They didn't. It's as simple as that. When you go to a club like Chelsea, in this version of Chelsea, you might get a little bit of time, but you need to earn that time. You need to get some credit in the bank. He's not got that at this moment in time. And at the end of the day, these players are talented individuals on their own. But collectively as a team, he needs to mould them together. And
Tom, when this is, I think this is where everyone is going wrong. I'm sorry. When people say these players are talented, what, where are we getting this from? Where I think this is just a narrative. I don't know.
No, it's not. No. Sorry, Cruz. No. I've had enough. Let me discuss. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Cruz. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Actually, Abdul, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
The talent, just look at the other teams those players had played for or they are currently playing for at the moment. That's when you see their talent. Caicedo is not the Caicedo of Chelsea. Trust me. And that is one thing I think I kind of discovered today. Caicedo is actually not a DM.
It's a number 8.
It's not a DM. He plays better when he's in the attacking phase of the field. He plays better. What's he called? Enzo's display for Argentina is much, much better than what you see at Chelsea. You cannot say Argentina is not a good team or it's not a decent team. Okay. We've seen other guys play. We've seen enough of Gusto to know that he's not a rubbish player. The only people I'm doubting actually is I'm starting to think, Jackson is not a striker.
Yeah, look, Abdul, I'm gonna just before you go on because I know what you were saying, and let me just clarify what I'm saying. I need to really clarify this. When I say these players how talented they are, I'm not saying everyone is rubbish. Don't mistake me. I'm saying when you look at our team and you look at the level of opposition in the Premier League, the top 10 teams, we are where we are for a reason. People cannot I don't understand. I do not understand why it's so like groundbreaking. Like, even before the United game, I said it like this team is not good. So what I'm saying is when you look at I'll wrap up quickly. Just one more sentence.
Yeah.
When you look at man for man, the teams we've lost to this season, the top 8 teams, because we lost to all of them. I'm sorry, we've not won against all of them. We've not beaten all of them. And the ones we have beaten, i.e. only Tottenham, was away from home with 9 men and we looked shambolic and we barely got it. We barely got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the other teams, like Chelsea YouTube was looping our highlights of draws against the Tottenham game, the Man City game, the Arsenal game, and the Liverpool game. They were looping draws. What people are not realizing, all those games were at home. Liverpool, Arsenal, City will go back to their grounds thinking, we'll take that, We actually will take that. It's Chelsea away. It's relatively supposed to be, inverted commas, a hard game. We'll take that draw. So they've gone back to their grounds with draws. We've not gone to anyone's ground this season and taken points from them where it looks like, we've gone to that ground and we've beaten them and we should have been a hard place to go and we've beaten them. Every team has beaten us now. When you actually look at it from their results, forget our results, it makes sense. Newcastle are a better team than us. Villa are a better team than us. West Ham are a better team than us. Every team above us that's beaten us this season. Everyone has beaten us this season that is ahead of us is a better team than us, man for man.
NK, which team do you disagree that I just said there? Which team?
West Ham, we're better than West Ham, bro. Come on, what's this?
Wait. So you see West Ham. Let's do the 11.
Thank you. That's thank you. That's what I want to hear.
Time out before we go. Let's wrap this.
There's nothing real.
Let's wrap this up. The attack is better. I'll give them the attack.
Their midfield is better.
The midfield is more balanced.
Our midfield is better. Our defense is better.
On paper, and at the World Cup versus Saudi Arabia and these teams, or at Brighton versus whatever team, or you guys are playing. You guys are watching. You guys are watching football on paper, bro. You're not watching football on the pitch.
This is not FM, like this is real life.
Do you understand?
You know what it is?
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, for me, Alvarez may not be as talented as Enzo or Caicedo, but right now Alvarez is a better DM than a Caicedo from what.
Do you understand? What are we even doing?
You said, do you understand? Hey, listen, let me just say, Pochettino has cooked y'all all up. Pochettino has fried your brains, Cruz. He's fried your brain. Now you're coming to the stream, right? And I don't blame you. You're not looking at these guys like, are these guys actually?
Whoa! This is not new for me, by the way. This is new for you guys. You guys are the project guys. I'm more confused when I hear you guys cussing the team. I laugh because I'm like, well, you guys told me expect this. You specifically, you Kenny Abdul told me this is a project. expect inconsistencies.
Yes.
At the beginning of the season, people even saying,
No,
I'm not looking
but
at the
Cruz.
I'm not looking at the table. It's too early. I'm not
But Cruz,
bothered.
but Cruz,
So
this is
when
the
people
problem.
start panicking, I'm
Cruz,
laughing.
Cruz, this is the problem.
I'm
Cruz,
laughing.
this is the problem. This is the
I knew it
problem
was
we're
a
having.
project. I was
Hold on.
I
This is the
told you
problem we're
about this
having right
coach
now.
from early. I told
Wait,
you about this coach
because
from
this is
early.
my
Once-
problem with Poch right now, which is even the biggest fear of me, because we can talk about the player not being young, inexperienced, we can lose matches. Poch is not coaching this team. There is no coaching at all in these players at all.
Amen.
No coaching, no direction, no structural instruction to them and say, do this. He's not doing. He's the
But
training.
okay, Abdullah, when we were against Man City, against Liverpool, Arsenal, I didn't hear anybody saying this.
Okay, see, against
guy,
Man City, against Man City and this kind of team you mentioned, the reason you can see the a little bit of glimpse of the way he wants to play is because the player were already listening to the instruction and everything. And after those matches, guess what? After the way we play against Man City, we've not played like that in the last 3-4 matches. Why? That's on the manager. We have the same coach. We have the same players. We play with Man City. We have it now. We are doing with the intensity, the fight, the desire against Man City that we draw 4-4. Since that time, we have not played that same way till now. What is going on? That's on Poch. Poch needs to answer some questions.
So Cruz, do you really believe, honestly, that where we are right now is actually where we deserve to be, irrespective? That this is our level, irrespective of anything we do outside. This is just our level. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at it. I think you guys are this is like we speak very much about football. I always have said my thing has always been about the ownership. So I can base my points on your answer talking about the structure, squad planning, how you come into a club, buy players. No. What do you mean no?
No. Cruz, you've watched the games, except you're telling me you haven't been watching the games. You've watched the games from your own football knowledge.
Okay.
Are you saying this is where we should be, irrespective
of or what do you mean?
Irrespective of any other thing, in terms of football, this is where we should be.
When I look at when I look at these players, man for man, I can tell there's been no squad planning. I can tell they're not that good as people think they are, and I don't know where we've pulled some of them from. Simple as that.
We
deserve to be where we are. We are as good as where we are. I don't look at it and think, you know what? Oh, this team is not better. This team is better than Villa. Villa's first 11, a lot of them start for us.
Where was this Villa team? Where was this Villa team when Steven Gerrard was in charge of them?
Ask him the question again.
Sorry?
When Steven Gerrard was in charge of this Villa team, okay, before he was sacked, where were they?
What's your point?
What did this Villa team?
Coaching matters, Cruz.
No. Basically, saying that the coaching
team, this Villa team was nowhere when Steven Gerrard was in charge of them. They were nowhere. They were not creating any impression. They were just like a mid-table team. Just like make up the numbers and that's it. Nobody saw anything extraordinary about them.
Where did Villa finish?
Basically, Abdul is saying that Pochettino is underperforming with the squad.
Where did Villa finish last season?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking, where did they finish? I don't know.
No, are you saying there's no difference? You are not seeing difference in Aston Villa since Unai Emery took over? There's been difference in that team the week Unai Emery took over.
They finished seventh.
So that's my point. I don't know what point you're making. You're saying that Villa have got better under Emery. Fine, I agree. But they finished 7th. We finished 12th. So I don't get it.
Bro, Cruz, you know what the issue was?
I don't get it.
Unai Emery took over like October. So he didn't have a preseason. He didn't have his own players. He just took over the team and he still finished 7th. This season they have improved. It's obvious they are improved. They've improved. Okay? So there's a positive trajectory. I believe from what I've seen, okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a different opinion, but from what I have seen, I think our coaching is very poor, and management. I think we
I
can.
think I've heard
I
this
think
before.
if
I think I've
if
heard
we
this.
have no, but well, that's my own assessment. You can
Because
you
Graham
can
Potter,
disagree.
this goes back to when Graham Potter was here, and I said vividly, I said it on maybe different show. I
That's
don't know if I said it here.
no.
I said under Potter.
Remove Potter.
We
Okay,
can't remove him,
because
Abdul.
Why do you have to remove Potter?
No, because number one, bringing in Potter was the first mistake those guys did. Number two, Potter suffered from a lot of injuries. Number three, a lot of Potter's players did not even want to be at Chelsea.
Is it a mistake?
They did
Is it a
not.
mistake now? Then is Poch mistake?
100%.
Yeah, of course.
No, but we can say the injury stuff the same for Poch as well. Half of the
I
team.
don't understand. I'm telling
No,
you,
no,
man.
but last season, come on, last
No, is it
season,
not true?
last season, a lot of the players did not want to be at Chelsea. Come on,
Who?
a lot of them did not. It is a different. Do you know the meaning of they don't want to be there?
No,
This is what
no,
Frank
but
Lampard confirmed. It's not me just assuming it.
the thing is that basically, Cruz is saying that the squad as itself is not good enough. Poch might be underperforming, yes, but the squad
No,
as
the
its own
squad
is good
might
enough.
not be good
But
enough. No, the squad might not be good enough, but they are not supposed to be at 12 now. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
they're not supposed to be at 12.
That's my point, and that's my problem. Why?
Cruz.
So
No, that's no
why
Cruz.
is
No,
the
let's
coaching
Cruz.
is
Yeah,
on,
no,
on the
Cruz. Let's
coach.
like 12 is poor. Especially the thing is that when you've seen perform, obviously we know it's going to be inconsistency, yeah. But there's certain performance that right now the performance compared to the beginning of the season, the football is getting worse. Like right now, at least at the beginning of the season, was creating chances, yeah. But right now, these last
Cruz,
3 weeks, like the football is becoming sterile right
Kenya,
now. It's
no, but
just side to
understand.
side football.
No, but I understand what you're saying, Kenny. Yeah, but I don't understand how we go from Potter's an awful manager, get him out. Poch is the guy who drove Tottenham to their successes, whatever that is, and he's such a good guy with young players. Now we're throwing out the baby with the bathwater again after 14 games. Poch is not good enough. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with like what you guys like. The project is good, the players are good, but the manager Potter was bad. Then now the players are okay or good, but the manager's bad. But you guys will tell me Pochettino's good. You can do it with Tottenham, and I can't keep up.
Cruz, I always said it was a project. I knew.
So then leave Poch then. So why are we getting rid of Poch then?
I'm not mad at Poch. I'm not here saying no. The thing is that it's Poch on the. I'm not mad at Poch.
How many times have you heard it on this stream when we say Poch is not elite? We've said it 100 times on this stream.
No, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it.
We've said it.
No, they did.
Okay.
No, that they did. Some of them they did.
No, I've had enough. 1 minute. Sorry, Abdul. I have to cut you off. Cruz, I came here early. I said this guy Poch is not the guy. I came here early and said it. I think Abdul came along later, right? Mm-hmm. But in all of that, that's fine. Look at the job Emery's done. And you're going to say this. We don't even need to look at league table, Cruz. Be honest. I'm talking about the level of play from when Gerrard was coaching these guys. Forget Aston Villa. Let's look at even Everton, bro. Let's look at Everton, man. Let's pre-Everton Football Club when Lampard was there coaching them. And they were in the relegation zone, no? And then Sean Dyche comes, saves them from relegation. Cool. They get a 10-point deduction, and if it wasn't for the deduction, these guys would be above us. They'll be 4 points clear of Chelsea without a deduction. And so why can't we win games? Why can't we win games? Yeah, Cruz, go ahead.
No, it's tough.
But yeah, for me, sorry to cut you off. For me,
go.
I'm actually now getting skeptical about the whole project itself because I saw Vavell leave. We as a group didn't discuss Vavell leaving as to why he left. I was here. I remember Nagelsmann was the first choice. The guy rejected us. Now I'm starting to ask why. Because this Poch guy, from what we're seeing, he's a fossil. He's stuck in 2018, 2017, 2016. He's a fossil. So, for me, I'm looking at the board, the ownership, in terms of the people making the decision to hire the coach. Because for me, the players are correct. And because of the sporting director's background, I'm talking at Brighton and Monaco, they actually know how to find players. So the player side, I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
for the coaching side,
Is where my
and
problem
as
is.
No, but
the coaching side,
I disagree. The players for me, some of the players for me is wrong as well.
no,
I'm sorry, no, that's me personally. Like I said, for me, some of the players that we have, they they they're
Kenny,
not they're not
Kenny,
they're not as
Kenny, Kenny.
they're not as good as people are hyping
No,
them to,
no,
and that's
Kenny,
why
Kenny,
when
hold
wait,
on, Kenny.
quickly Abdul,
Go
when
ahead,
we
go
was
ahead.
there at the beginning of the season, everyone was saying, "Oh, I'm expecting." People were saying title challenge. People were saying, "Oh, top three,
not
top
me.
four." I was like, you guys are overrating some of these players. You're overrating these players. Obviously, these players have talent here, but like I said, most of these players they've barely had experience at football. They haven't gone through the highs and lows. And most of these guys, they entered the environment at Chelsea, which was bad.
Mm-hmm.
The culture was bad at Chelsea. The culture right now at Chelsea is bad. So you can't expect people that have no experience to come here in this bad environment that is Chelsea right now, and then you expect them to exceed or show talents that they showed in the past or in different teams. There are people are saying, "Oh, Enzo for Argentina or Caicedo for Ecuador, maybe they're playing better." Yeah, because the culture right now at these teams are better than at Chelsea. Like I said,
But
Enzo since he's been at Chelsea, I think the guy has barely. I think they say the guy has like a 8%, like a 8 win percentage or whatever.
no,
Like most of these
Kenny,
guys, most of these guys that have been at Chelsea right now. Most of the players that are in the squad, they, what they know of Chelsea is losing, is mid-table.
but Kenny, this is the question now. And look at the team we have right now. With the caliber of player Mauricio Pochettino is, injury should not be an excuse for Poch not to coach these players. Injury should not be an excuse for him. We don't play Champions League. There's no Champions League, no Champions League at all. We only play once a week. You should be able to coach this team
No,
at least to the level where you want them to be. My
See,
problem with them
no,
is
no. Wait,
we play one.
see,
See,
I've
since the Liverpool match till the Manchester City match, we play with
yes,
high intensity. Since then, we have reversed back to default. We've not been playing like that anymore, and that's on Poch. That's on
that yeah,
him.
that's on Porsche. Like I said, like, is he is he on?
Abdullah.
We quickly is he underperforming? Yes, we should not be 12 where we're at now. But the thing is that the like I said, the inconsistencies in the performance was to be expected because
No, no,
people
no,
are. So you guys are over like a guy like
Kenny,
Bajashio. Guys were overhyping Bajashio like, oh, this guy, oh, what we've seen from him the first few, oh, he has potential to be here. This grace and the back. Like, yo, Bajashio is decent. He's
Kenny,
decent.
hold on.
People are
Good.
Kenny,
overhyping some of
He's
these
more.
players.
He's good.
Cole,
He's good.
Kenny,
yo,
what you're doing is,
Cole Palmer had one good month. People were saying, "Oh,
Oh, okay, I agree
he's
there.
a
hold on, hold on.
people were talking about him like this guy is on levels that is not yet." And now he's had 3 bad games back to back to back, and then now
Oh, hold on,
people are
Kenny,
killing
Kenny,
him.
hold on.
Guys are
Kenny.
putting people were saying that. I remember when we needed a striker. Being said we needed a striker. People was, oh, you should leave Jackson and bro, you give Jackson. People were hyping Jackson off of a preseason. Now when he's doing foolishness after the game, people are complaining. And now you see now you need a striker now because you have no guys with experience there.
Kenny, this is you see, it's more or less like you are looking at the answer and then you're working at the solution from the answer, okay? Because you are already seeing the outcome now, so it's easy for you to say, "Oh, you don't have this, you don't have that," and or you know. But
No,
the
but
thing
I
is,
said that
the thing
before. I
is,
said that before. I said that
I
before the
understand. No,
pro.
I understand but you're saying it with more confidence now because this is the outcome. Okay,
Of
the
course.
outcome could have been exactly the outcome could have been different. Then we would say it with more confidence that whatever. That's fine. That's football for you. Okay, but at the end of the day, we still have to talk about the football itself. We have to look at just the football. See, um, we can put a stamp on it and say maybe officially or formally, this team came at the same time with Poch. This team was created the same time we brought Poch in. Okay, this is
Maybe.
a new team. We can all agree that it's a new team, and we
Yes.
actually created this team when we hired Poch. Okay, there are certain things. Poch is not the leader. There are certain things you should be seeing from a leader. Me personally, I'm not seeing those certain things from Poch. Okay, you have a young team. Fair enough. Why is the most senior player not carrying the armband? I find that I don't find to me, I find that not helpful. All this passing the armband around young players, I know he
I
has his
agree.
excuse for doing it, but I don't find that helpful. Give the authority to the most senior players and let the authority come from him. Okay, that's number one. Number two, um, number two, this is not the first time Chelsea is using young players. So I don't know this. Oh, they are young players. They are not young players. Whatever. This is not. John Terry started
So,
playing for Chelsea. No, hold on. John Terry
oh
started
my
playing for
gosh.
Chelsea senior team at the age of 20. He was
Who did John
performing.
Terry have around
Hold
him?
on.
Who did
I
John Terry? No, but
understand.
you're not
I
putting context to
understand.
it. You can,
No. I on that. No, let me finish now.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand. I understand that. Okay, but at the same time, we had other young players that come in at this that we did not deliver, did not perform. We bought Gallas at the age of 22. Okay. Robin came to Chelsea at the age of 20 or 19. Joko came to Chelsea at the age of 22. Even our God, Drogba, came to Chelsea at 26. 26 is still relatively young with just 1 year of senior football with
No,
Marseille.
he had more than
No,
1 year.
no,
Yeah,
no,
he
no,
played at
no, no, no,
Gangon and all that stuff.
top level, top level French
Yeah,
football
top
now.
level. Yeah,
Marseille, Marseille,
yeah,
he
Marseille.
played
Yeah, that
Marseille
one.
just
Yeah,
for 1 year before he came, and he was still
yes.
young. I understand the whole concept that whatever you played around senior players, okay, is people like who is meant to take that responsibility? Is Poch not meant to be aware of those kind of things? That is why he hired
Poor
him.
squad planning. Poor squad
Mhm.
planning.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like because
no,
Poch is not Poch is not the one. Yeah, Poch is not
Poor
the one
squad.
he
that.
is
But
meant
that's
he is
but it,
meant to um have contingency plan for this kind of scenario. You cannot just put your hands up and just throw away and just put your hands up and just say, oh, they're all young. No, we all know the way you talk to a 5-year-old kid is different from how you talk to a 10-year-old kid, is different from how you treat a 15-year-old kid. So what's all this that they are all new? Is Arsenal not relatively new?
yes. Now you're getting
Arsenal is
no,
relatively new.
but now you're understanding my point.
Yeah,
That's
but
exactly what I've been saying the whole
did you
time.
see?
So
Did
then
you
in a
see?
way, so if you
But
cannot, if hold
did you
on,
see how long it took
Kenny,
Arsenal? Did you see how long it took Arsenal?
Kenny, but Ateta did not have all of them at the same time. He had them gradually in a way. Okay,
Who?
but Ateta now, Arsenal.
No, most of the young players that are playing, they were there already.
Arsenal's nowhere near
So
comparable
is
to
that
Chelsea.
so to me, I'm looking at it and saying and thinking it means Ateta knows more how to coach and manage a younger team than Poch. That's what he's
No,
showing.
no.
No, but you see now you're giving Arteta has been there for 2 years and a half. Arteta was at the same stage as Poch is right now. People they wanted him sacked, but the club stuck with him. And at the end of the day, yeah, like I said, Pochettino. If you give Pochettino time, I'm not saying he's guaranteed that it's going to work. But for me, it's like a Potter. I'm not saying they were the right man or whatever. But like I said, it's a young team.
You're
They need
missing
time.
Kenny, but Kenny,
But
you're missing
but
Kenny.
Absolutely.
no, but like I said,
You're missing the point. You need to
yeah,
remember that at Arsenal, Arteta has been able to
yeah, he
control.
was given control. Yeah, he
One
was
second,
given.
he's able to control who's coming in and out of the squad.
And now,
So when I say poor squad planning, what Abdul's talking about, and he says we have no captain and they're giving it to random people, is because they haven't planned the squad to say there's 20. You know, we've got one of the biggest squads in the league. We've got 30 first team players that are registered, right? So we've got one of the biggest squads, and we've got no confirmed leaders in terms of the guys who you look at the dressing room and say, okay, who can like control this dressing room? Not just one guy, Thiago
yeah,
Silva,
not
sitting
really.
there by himself. You need more than one. It's a group of kids. So you need somebody in there to say a few players to control it. That's why I said in the summer, we needed to go out. I think I was on this street. I said, we need Joshua Kimmich or someone who's an experienced midfielder to come into this club with experience to steady the ship. If it's going to be a project, you still need players around these guys to make it happen. He said, nah, don't matter. Enzo. So
No, but and
But
that's what
the thing is,
like.
but the thing is,
If
Cruz,
yeah, okay.
okay? This team we can say we've just established this team at the beginning of the season. Okay, there is nothing that stops us from improving the team. There is nothing that stops us from continuously developing the team. So this is not like the end product. Okay, have it. You can't. If you cannot deliver with it, there's nothing we can do. Okay, we that are watching. We are seeing the flaws within the team. From what I've seen so far, I don't really understand Nkuku per se as a player. Okay, but we don't have a striker. From what I've seen, we don't have it. We don't have a striker.
So you're saying that we can add.
No, we can't hear you.
Cruz, you're far from your.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Your mic. Yeah, you're there now.
Yeah. So you're saying, Abdul, that we can add these players to the team, right? Like it's not at the end of the world.
What, exactly? We can develop January.
Right. But what I'm saying is, right now I'm saying, but Abdul, we're not at that point where we can talk about what we didn't do and what can we do in the future. We're talking about how do we get to this point. We haven't. Yeah. So how did we get to this point? Is poor squad planning. It's poor. They did not plan for this team. Like I said earlier, they got to a point in the transfer window where they were like, "Yo, we can't even send Ugochukwu on loan. You know, we can't even send David Washington on loan because we've run out of foreign loans. So you know what? They're going to be part of the first team. There's not like this was a shambles. It was a
shambles. Stop adding young players. Just stop.
You think they weren't conscious? You think they weren't conscious of this kind of things?
No,
somebody just went into a room. Somebody just went into a room and just wrote the names of players and say, let's go and buy them. And then we discovered we have too much players.
Oh, come 100%.
Come on, man. Multi-billion pounds business.
Look,
Abdul,
Abdul, look at the Andre Santos.
Andre Santos.
Yeah.
Bro, come on, Abdul.
What's wrong with the Santos loan?
He's going to get cancelled. He's going to get cancelled. That's what's wrong. It's so bad that they're going to cancel the loan and he's going to come back here again.
But we can't really force them to play a player.
Then why are you Abdul? So why are you loaning? Why are you loaning him there if you know he's not going to get game time? You invested in the player.
He still has to go and fight. He still has to go and fight for his position.
No, but Abdul, you buy a player. You should know in what situation you're going to put him in. You should know. You should have guarantees. Yeah, this player is going to be able to play there.
No.
You can't just loan him. And that's what.
Not every loan works out now the way you want it.
We've wasted 6 months of his career. We've already wasted 6 months of his career.
Abdul, this and the thing is that
wasted.
He's doing nothing.
He's doing nothing.
Abdul, no, Abdul.
He didn't make the team.
Abdul, I'm begging you. No, Abdul, I'm begging you.
Yeah, Abdul, if you're not saying that, I'm sorry.
You have to call some of this out now. You can't just say, "Yo, these guys made a mistake in hiring Poch." Some, in terms of the personnel, with some of the decisions they've made, they've been mistakes. So I'm looking at Abdul. I just want to know, why did Vivell leave? Why is a guy who we all assume, or
now we're having the conversations,
or at least some of us know this guy has a footballing brain. Why did he leave?
Why are you worrying about why Vivell leave? Who's going
because it shows to me that there's an issue.
It shows you that there's an issue.
This guy left within.
There's clearly a lack of understanding in the project. If one of the main guys you bought decided to leave after 8 months being hired.
No, the two main guys, Vivell and which other guy?
Winstanley. There's Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart.
Lawrence Stewart.
Yes, Lawrence Stewart and Vivell.
Yeah, basically it was the three of them.
It was the three of them.
And then Vivell decided to leave.
Hold on now, one at a time. And which one left? Vivell left. Which other one
left? This is
exactly Vivell was the only one that left.
Before Logostero was promoted, it was Vivell that was the chief executive when it comes to transfer, because they put him. He has an hierarchy from Todd Bowley Baghdad, then Vivell next, then Ponwe Sterling and Logostero, then the other guys. So when Logostero finished his stuff, when we took him away from Monaco. Officially became in the Chelsea recruitment. Then they have to they now change Vivell title. They change him from him being the chief executive back underneath. That was where he was angry that this is my job. My job is for me to make sure I get the club into the right position. And he said, I'm okay with the project we are doing. And he was the first guy in the boardroom that told the board, give me he said, because of this project we have, Julian Nagelsmann is the best man for this job because young players and everything, improvement is gonna. But the ownership was like, we need an experienced player where they're gonna be too much. And he said, I've worked with Nagelsmann before. Nkunku has worked with him before. And if you want the best out of this team, you need chemistry and understanding in this team. If I spoke to Nagelsmann today, we'll accept the job because of the connection we have. And because of Nkunku, you brought Nkunku in for him to have the best team. You play with Nagelsmann already. They know each other very well. So you need that connection. Nagelsmann told them in the interview, I cannot take the job without a communication and a connection with the club. And it's Vivell. Because you know, it's Vivell. When he was in Leipzig, Vivell was his starting director when he was in Leipzig. So he played with a lot of players there. And Nkunku was one of his priority there. And Nkunku is here. So Vivell has to leave because there was no correlation between the boardroom and the recruitment. There was a little disagreement.
Abdullah, right from the time he used to hype the structure in Liverpool, I've kept telling you that football is not that difficult. And then number two, in football, there's a lot of jobs for the boys in football. Okay, what you need is a very good scouting team or department. What you call who heads them, who doesn't head them, what you call them, that's your own problem in a club. But you need a very efficient and effective scouting team or scouting department. Okay. Now, we have no influence in that. Okay. And you're going to get less information from that part of the club. So I don't really understand why Nana is saying, he wants to know why Vivell left. Who is going to come and tell you why Vivell left? Nobody's going to, you're going to wait forever. Nobody's going to come and tell you why Vivell left.
But it's okay. It's
That's the list. That's the list of my own worry now. Okay. My own issue is, I believe.
NK, you see why? You understand now why every streamer has it anyway.
No, but the thing is, a scouting department can be good. Yes, I don't think that the scouting department is the issue for me. Is the club vision and what they're trying to do. That's the more the issue. The planning. That's the issue right now, because you're trying to do multi-club.
What you're saying is they haven't planned properly for their policy. So they come out with a particular club policy and they haven't planned properly for it. I don't know. I'm not exposed to how they are planning their stuff there. Okay. But the thing is, the one that is glaring to me and obvious to me is our coach is poor in managing and coaching this team. And I believe certain coaches can bring out better results and better outcome for this group of players. Okay. He definitely has his own positive because we've known him for a long time. But I think we need somebody different and somebody better from this guy. Okay. Because because I cannot see what this guy is doing.
Can I ask you at the beginning of the season, would you have called Pochettino a poor manager at the beginning of the season?
Oh, he didn't.
No. We all discussed Poch now when he was just signed now. I said he's good, but I don't think he's elite.
You did say that. Yeah, you did say that.
But do you think he's a poor manager? Did you think he's a poor manager?
He's not poor. No, he's not poor manager.
He's a poor coach. He's a fossil.
No, but for me, the thing with blaming coaches every time that is just surface level.
Thank you.
At clubs like United, clubs like Chelsea.
That's why he's my DP. I didn't blame Poch, but Poch today is Poch.
Who interacts with the team on a daily basis?
It's the coach.
It's the manager. So why are you saying I shouldn't blame the manager? Who am I going to blame?
No, I'm not saying you should. No, I'm not saying we shouldn't blame him. But people like can another manager do better with this squad? Yes,
100%.
But No, but the thing is that at the end of the day, doing better with this squad, what is he gonna achieve?
A lot.
A European position. I could go, Kenny. I could go into
a
next
lot
season
because
expecting Chelsea to
wait, Nana, because the reason I said
right
that
now,
Kenny, the reason I said
I'm
that is
telling you.
because wait, Nana, because that United match, I was angry that I was sweating. I was literally just sweating when I was watching that United match. I had to tell Oluwa I have to tell Oluwa, I'm not staying tonight, man. I'm sweating because that match was annoying me to the extent that I almost want to enter that TV and just give all of them dirty slap. So again, and I'm looking at Poch, you are the manager of this team. Don't European tournament for you. Coach this team. There is no coaching in this team at all. All of them is just freestyle and vibes. That's what my problem is. Poch is telling them we want them to do something. They're not doing what I want them to do. Then have a conversation with them. Drop the big egos in that team. If it is for you to play under 21, play under 21. Very simple.
This reminds me.
If it's for you to play under 21, play them. Tell the boardroom these players are not doing what I want them to do. They don't deserve to be in the first team.
What these guys are displaying majority of the time reminds me of Claudio Ranieri's football when it's stunk. It reminds me of Avram Grant's football, and it reminds me of Frank Lampard's football, and maybe Potter. Okay, this football is what they call football that stinks. It smells badly. There is no direction to it. You cannot say this is the methodology. You cannot say it's a defensive team or it's an attacking team or it's a possession-based team. They just go with the flow. He will say, "Oh, I'm implementing different direction for different opposition." Oh, is that why we are making short passes, 5-inch, how many short square passes in front of our keeper at Old Trafford? If Bournemouth had done the same, would they have beaten?
Thank you.
Man United 3-0.
No. Let Cruz answer that question.
What? Let me? What did I do? Me?
No, listen. Bournemouth Football Club, the Cherries.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, I don't want to hear anyone tell
The
me.
Cherries.
I don't want to hear anyone tell me that player for player they have a better team than Chelsea. I don't care about experience. I don't care about Premier League minutes.
Yeah. So go on. So what's the question? What are you saying?
How the hell did Bournemouth Football Club go to Manchester United to Old Trafford
question.
And win 3-0 timeout?
Yes.
And then me, a Chelsea fan, I should go there and say, "Oh, the squad is inexperienced, though."
No, I'm not.
But
listen,
the players don't do this, so I can lose 2-1 like that.
I'll answer that. I don't think that this team's the reason why we're not playing. I think the people who believe in this project do the players a disservice when they say they're young. I think that's like, it's like you're just basically saying, "Oh, they're kids. Like, don't worry about it. They'll get it right one day." Like, I think it's disingenuous to call the players just young, and that's why they're not good enough. I think if you're old enough, you're good enough. Like, if you're big enough to get on the pitch for Chelsea, you should be good enough to play. So I don't believe in this stuff. Why Bournemouth can go and do a job against Man United is because I guarantee you 1,000,000%. I didn't watch the game, but I know their midfielders, Philip Billing and these guys. I watched Enzo Fernandez at Manchester United.
Did you watch the Chelsea game against United?
I did.
That
might stink, man.
Let me land.
Did you watch it?
I watched Scott McTominay stand on Enzo Fernandez, and I watched Enzo curl into a ball. He could not get out of it. Scott McTominay said, "I'm going to stand on your toes. I'm going to stand on your toes, and you're not going to get that ball up. You're not going to turn. You're not going to receive the ball. One second. You're not going to receive the ball on the half turn. Get your head up and play any football here today." That's why Bournemouth can do that, because I know Scott McTominay cannot bully Philip Billing like that. I know he can't do that.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
So Cruz, in the first half an hour, how many saves did Sanchez, our keeper, make?
A lot of saves, a lot.
He made minimum 5 good saves, including he made. I said a minimum 5 good saves, including saving a penalty in the first half an hour. Is that because of Enzo and McTominay? It's because we're playing, in the defense.
Yeah, because you can't get the ball into midfield. You just proving my point.
Why were you playing at the back in front of your keeper?
Because you can't get the ball into midfield.
Can't you kick the ball? Can't you kick the ball?
Oh my?
Kick the ball
Am I
out.
going? Is anybody not hearing what I'm saying?
No, but Cruz,
No, that's the direction. That's the direction by the coach.
No, Cruz, sorry.
That's the direction from the coach.
But obviously, no, but that's what he's trying to do. That's what you guys are. That's what you guys
No,
you want
but it's not
philosophy or
working
whatever.
after half an hour.
His
As a
philosophy
coach,
is playing off all
as
the
a
back.
coach, couldn't you change it if it's not working after half an hour? Your
Yo,
keeper made 5 saves, including me.
No, but Abdul, maybe if he's Abdul, wait, quickly,
No, but he asked me something.
no, but if
He said,
no, but Abdul, if
no, but
it's
he
not
said,
working,
yeah.
maybe these players are not good enough to do it then.
No, but
why did you
So
change
the
it as a
Bournemouth players
manager?
are good enough. Really. Cruz,
No, but
don't do this to me.
Abdul asked me a question. He said, "What?" And NK asked me, "Why do you think that Bournemouth can go and do a job there and Chelsea couldn't?" And I literally just explained it. And you told me why. Chelsea were getting peppered because they couldn't play the ball out from the back because our midfielder couldn't find a space to.
His strategy. That's what we are telling you.
So what?
It's
So what?
because of
So
the
what are you saying
strategy
we
they
should have done? Then?
employed.
What are you saying we should have
We
done?
He said long balls.
We were
Long.
no,
Do you
no,
imagine?
no,
Imagine
no,
that. Imagine
no,
Kenny.
don't
So now
don't
on
spoil
young
it.
side,
No,
kick the ball out.
don't spoil
I'm
it.
not co-signing what he's about to say.
Can you imagine?
I'm not
What are we doing?
No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil the argument just to win the argument. Okay, we were making short passes, playing at the back. We were not even trying to play from the back. There is a difference. We're playing at the back, making short passes right in front of our keeper. How dumb can that be? Right in front of us. Is that not directives? Is that not what you've been told to do?
So you think that the manager
What?
said just play passes across the back and don't pass it into midfield? Is
Yeah,
that what
don't
he said?
pass.
No, he was
It looked that way.
basically.
It looked like that. It looked like
Basically,
that.
What? So then this is not.
our keeper
You
made
guys are being
our keeper
disingenuous,
made
man. I don't know, man.
our keeper made seven good saves, including a penalty, because we took the decision to be played at the back.
So what should they
big
have done?
saves.
They should have kicked
And
it into the striker. Is that what you're saying?
What if that was another team would have been wiped off of that field like with 7-0 that day?
So what would you have done? What should you have done?
Another team would have played out the back better. That's what they would have
Thank
done.
you. You know, come on.
No. Which other team? You can't play from the back. What were you doing for? What were you doing for? Like how many days you were training?
Did you watch Bournemouth?
So the manager didn't discover that we couldn't play from the back in his training.
Yeah.
And he still gave the go ahead.
Like if you guys watch other Premier League team, like even some of these teams that are below us, like
they
if
can
you
play.
watch them, they can play. You guys acting as if it's just long ball.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's the strategy.
I'm
It's not that they
done,
can't
man.
do it.
I'm done. I forfeit. You guys won, man. I'm done.
No. But the thing, I'm not saying that they can do it every time. But there's some passes of play where you can see them playing out like being presses. What I'm seeing at Chelsea is that every time you pass the ball around, when he gets to the fullback, you get stuck. Either you play a long, even you play a long ball down the line, but you can't. They can't pass it in the midfield. There's no way.
We don't have the players.
They get stuck.
We don't
every
have
time
the
he gets to
players,
that.
brother.
Every time he gets to that fullback, I see a long ball, or the winger is not coming deep enough to come and collect the ball. There's an issue there. I don't know. Something's not connected.
No, sorry. So time out, Kenny. You're saying all of this. You're saying all of this stuff, and you're telling me that a coach can't manage distances. You're telling me the coach can't discuss patterns of play, passages and moves of the in terms of the actual structure of the team. Whether I'm seeing a 3-1, this stupid 3-1-5, whatever people are talking about, whatever it is, you're telling me Pochettino. This is why I'm telling you guys, he's a fossil. He's a fossil. He had Enzo out there looking like McTominay.
See, this is what I'm saying. You're avoiding all the player responsibility and it's so easy to say the manager's rubbish.
So what you no. Actually, I will say this for the United game. Of course, some of the play in the majority of play in the final third was really poor. I will say
no. Against United, did you see the touches these guys were taking? Some of these touches were. These guys could not. The first touches were terrible.
I would admit.
When Sterling's running through, and all he has to do is square it.
We did the last one, and we get ahead of it. I want to ask a question because I was United and this match. I noticed something which I don't think you guys noticed. There's a disconnection between Pochettino and the players. Some of the players, some are listening to him, while some are not listening to him. I do not want to mention names, but I know some players who are on Pochettino's, on his methodologies, and someone like get the fuck out of here. Who cares? Get out. I know because I can against United. I saw it. I saw it today too against Everton. I saw it today. That gave me like understanding that something is going on here where Poch is not taking a big lead here, and it might cost him his job. E.g., remember when Sanchez was injured when he was on the floor where they were treating him when he was telling him Petrovic to what? Petrovic to warm up. If you look at what the commentators said, this man should have come out. Why was he staying there? Because he's injured already and it's going to cost the team by conceding goals. 10 minutes after that, we conceded goals. Why watch? What is Spurs doing when the players already have an hamstring injury? You pull him out. I don't care if he wants to play. Pull him out of the game. Let him get out. Simple. Let him get out.
No, but I get it because obviously
we saw the bad of Petrovic already.
I know. I'm not saying yes. I know, but
like,
I won't even blame.
He was trying because throwing him in his first game like Premier League, we saw the mistake he made as well. So I get it.
It happens. I'm not going to fault him on this. I want to see more run of games before I can even judge him.
Abdullahi, the players lost hope in this game. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but the players around, I want to say, for me, when I noticed it was around the 70th minute mark.
Yeah, they gave up.
The players lost hope. I wouldn't even say after the goal, they gave up. I wouldn't say gave up because it's not like they are trying, but they lost hope in winning that game against Everton Football Club. I'm sorry, guys. Pochettino is a bottom 5 coach in this league. I don't want to.
That's quick. That's quick. No,
Chelsea's. I'll say that's fine. But Pochettino is a bottom 5 coach in this Premier League.
No, Enki, you know what the issue is. You know when I say young squad is because I see them. The thing is that especially you see when they play from the back, when they start making a mistake, that's when they don't make mistakes, or when they see it's working well at the beginning and they have confidence, they do it with no issue in some games. In the games where you see them when they make a bad pass or they make a mistake, that's when you start saying, I'm not sure if I want to make that pass anymore. And that's what sometimes you see the midfielder, they get frustrated because sometimes I see Caicedo or Enzo coming for the ball. They don't pass them the ball. In the first few minutes, they always try and play out of the back. When they see it's not working well, they lose confidence. That's when you start seeing the madness that these guys, they don't want to pass the ball. Like they're scared of making mistakes. You can see these guys, they're scared of making mistakes. They're shook of making mistakes. Like it's as if they don't want to be blamed for it. The thing is that when I watch Tottenham, they did the same play for the back. But you see these guys, when they make a mistake or if they lose the ball, they don't care. They keep doing it.
That goes for the coach, Kenny.
I can say it's the coach, yeah? He might be the coach. But when the coach, you keep doing it, but you don't do it the same way. That's what I'm saying. Like the passes you were making at the first few minutes, you're not making them no more. Because there's sometimes when I'm seeing Enzo or there's a Caicedo coming in the midfield, and then once they see there's a player behind him, like, I'm not sure if I want to pass him the ball because I'm scared he's going to lose the ball. I don't know if that's the coach. I don't know if that's the coach or if that's the players making.
And I think the problem is Caicedo and Enzo before they are very closer to each other. Now they are far away from each other.
What is this guy even playing in the midfield? What is he playing in the midfield? I don't know. Is he playing 2 DMs and one attacking midfielder? Or is he just playing like 3 central midfielders? Or I don't know what he's playing in the midfield. All I know is Enzo is stuck somewhere on the left.
On the left, exactly.
Gallagher runs around.
Caicedo do the dirty work.
Caicedo, he doesn't like moving around past the center line sometimes. And you give him the ball, he suddenly thinks it's Makelele. He overholds the ball. Isn't the coach watching all this coach has been with them for I think almost 4 months now.
4 months, yes.
Isn't he seen all this? Isn't he rectified all this?
Abdul, the excuse he always give an
one more thing. Sorry, Abdul. Levi Colwell, brother, for the goal. If you don't fling yourself on that ball,
I don't think.
Even against Man U, McTominay barely touching man is rolling around on the floor.
If you don't fling yourself on that ball,
that is what Abdullah is saying. I don't think that guy really. I don't think he really bothers that much. He was at fault with the first goal.
And I said it. Some players are with
Okay.
Poch, some are not with
And
Poch.
today he made the same mistake where he didn't close down that player. So how can
Fling
me
yourself
just
at the
watching?
ball.
No,
But how? That's what I'm saying, Nana. How can me watching through the TV be seeing that this guy is not closing down, and the coach is seeing him every day, cannot tell him that?
and
See
and
what?
that and you see that's the issue as well having young team. I think some of these guys they're starting to believe too much in their source or whatever because some of these guys the effort that they were putting at the beginning and now I'm like these guys are acting as if
Kenny,
they made it already. You guys are
but
12th in the table. Where's
my
where's
issue,
this where's
my
this
issue,
like this confidence, this ego coming from? Like you guys are 12th and you guys are acting as if you guys are like some top dogs.
Kenny. My issue
I
is
don't know where it is.
my issue is Kenny. I wouldn't even go there because for Levi, that's not. He just thought that's a good idea. This game, I'm looking at this game earlier, Abdul. This guy thought it was a good idea to stand there like that, and you don't think a coach is telling this guy, "Yo,
And
close that shit down."
you guys were hyping this guy when he was in Brighton. That
He's a
this,
great
that,
player.
is that. You can't do simple closing down.
Abdul, it
Closing down.
it does it in Brighton. It closes on a lot, and
So did he fall
I don't
asleep?
know about that, but that's a fundamental. That's
He does it in
John
Brighton.
Terry
He does
is
it in
slamming his head
Brighton.
on
He does
that
it in
ball.
Brighton.
He's slamming his head on that ball.
I've seen 2 games now within like 1 week just because he wasn't quick enough. Just being quick enough. Imagine if that was Disasi. So this is why I'm tired of all these people that talk about football most of the time. If that was Disasi's, that would have been a different story. Disasi actually performed. I was really scared of Disasi when they first brought him because I watched some of his
But he's
tape.
been performing very well though.
This guy is performing well. This guy is
How
performing
did
well.
you think of the back line, Abdul?
If I was Poch, that's another problem. Okay, we don't know Poch's starting back line.
He keep changing. He keep changing.
No, but the thing.
Why did they move Disasi again today?
No, you know why? No, but I can blame him part of that. But the thing is that his injuries every time, like for example, Reece James, and Ochoa are supposed to be your guys. They get injured every time. You have to swap Reece James. He gets injured. You have to swap him. One day it's like there's injuries every time. There's too many injuries. I can't remember like the last time we had like a solid every other week. There's a new game. There's a new back line. There's no stability.
You're going to see. He's not going to play. He's not going to start with Disasi and Bradashili as center half in our next game. He's not going to start. Why? Allow them to partner. Allow them to grow. Allow them to develop. Allow them to have chemistry. He's going to change it again.
Thiago Silva's played with Disasi one time. He's played with Colwell. He's played with Badiashile. You've had Badiashile and Disasi. There's too many chopping and changing.
And
even at fullbacks.
Even if we're having a problem, okay, in the defense, just play 3 at the back, just to protect the team. Play 3 at the back. But I don't really know what's going on with coach. He's flipping, changing, whatever. I bet that's why people like Corey are just like, well, I don't really care anymore because I'm sure maybe he doesn't want to. He looks to me like he doesn't want to play left back, like he's just being forced to play there.
Now what for Pocho? Guys, tomorrow we're gonna do the African Footballer of the Year nominees. Is gonna be tomorrow. Mohamed Salah, Ashraf Hakimi, and Victor Osimhen. They're gonna announce them tomorrow. We're gonna see who's gonna win tomorrow, and we're gonna possibly react to the African Footballer of the Year award tomorrow. Peace out, guys. God bless. Stay safe.
Big up, man.